Mr. Shearon.
Mr. LaFave.
You're sitting here with myself and Mr. Best across the table. Right now you're on Basement Place Radio. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're plugging along.
Hi, Mr. Best.
Hi.
Yo.
I feel like we're on the radio.
Oh, you don't talk to him, though.
I feel like we're pranking
I
you.
do too. Did I win? Did I get concert tickets?
You didn't say the phrase when you answered.
Yeah, so you don't win. We got to go to the next caller.
You're caller 88.
Yeah.
All right, you got some time?
Yeah, I got to leave by just before 7, so I got a little bit of time.
Okay, good, because this is going to take until just before 7. That's perfect. How's that pillow on your ass, Kale?
Good.
Better, eh?
Oh, too much almost.
Better than the last one?
Yeah.
What are you sitting on right now, Brig?
Just like a lazy boy.
Oh, I got you.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
Being a lazy man.
Got to get me some of that. Well, first of all, before we get into that, I'd just like to introduce you to everybody. Talking on the phone right now, we have Brigham Shearon from Episode 9, Brigonometry 101, and pretty much the star of Episode 10, the Flat Earth Roundtable. Brigham, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Good. We just wanted to talk to you today because of the events that have happened in the last couple of weeks with the death of Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
How they were saying that it's very possible that the prescription medication that he was taking might have played a large role in his death. You, as someone who has prescribed in the past to Ativan, if you could do you mind talking to us about it a little bit?
No problem, man. I'll talk to you about it.
Okay. I don't know how broad of a question this is, but what was your overall experience with Ativan?
Well, and this is where people are probably going to disagree with me, but for me, it's been great. I mean, I don't abuse it. I'm prescribed one, and I don't take one per day.
What do you mean?
I take it as needed.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what they're saying. Even Chris Cornell's wife had said that on the phone right before he died, that he had told her that he had taken 1 or 2 extra, whatever that means.
Yeah, and also like the slurred speech, like that happens for sure.
Like if you take too much.
Sometimes even just your regular, like, you know, it is a sedative, you know, like, sometimes people will be like, why are you slurring your words, you know, but you know what, like, remember Green Day, Steve?
Yep.
Stuff like that, I wouldn't go if I didn't have Ativan.
Okay.
I wouldn't have. As much as I don't want to be on Ativan, it seems to, you know, it works for me.
What is the overall effect once it's taken effect?
For me, it was just like relaxing. Like the first time I flew, you know, I think we talked about this, I believe, on episode 9, maybe.
Yeah.
The first time I flew, like, you know, like I usually, honestly, I take it almost every time I cross the border. If I go on a long trip, like, you know, Mr. Best there and I are going to go camping. I guarantee you I'll be taking one for that ride.
Right. Have you been taking Ativan ever since, or even before the baseball trip?
Oh yeah, I was prescribed Ativan when I was, I think, 15 years old for the first time.
Oh really?
Yeah, I went to a doctor and they told me I was sick and had some type of like lung infection or something.
Yeah.
And I took their antibiotics and stuff, and then I got really sick. And I went to my family doctor, and he basically said to me, you know, you don't need any of this medicine because you have anxiety and your throat's closing, like you're so nervous that you can't breathe. And that's when it started. And you know, it's been a part of my life for a long time. I mean, just last year I stopped taking it. I was off it for almost a year.
See, that's what I thought. I thought you were off of it like currently, because I remember you telling me that you had weaned. I thought the medicinal marijuana had kind of taken its place.
Well, it did, and then you know, some unfortunate events happened also regarding suicide. You know?
Right.
With, you know, my family, I had 2 family members take their own lives, and you know, I kind of went to a dark place, and you know, I've been back on it now for just about 2 months.
Okay, so how are you feeling?
I feel better.
Yeah.
I still don't want to take them. You know what I mean? Like
Of course
I don't
not.
want to take them.
Yeah.
But because they're very habit forming. You know, like you could take them every day without thinking twice about it. You know, without trying to fight through your symptoms.
Are you just supposed to take the one?
Yeah, mine is take one daily as needed.
Like one every 24 hours.
Yeah.
Is the prescription the same for everybody, or does it vary from patient to patient?
I would imagine it varies because, like, when they ask me, they said, "Well, do you take one a day?" And I always say, "No, I take them as needed."
Yeah.
For example, I believe a friend of mine's mother is prescribed them, and she takes one every morning, like she has to.
Yeah.
So I think it all depends on like I said, for me, it's basically, you know, if I'm doing something that to me isn't jiving with me, you know, that's when I take it. And I usually don't even take the whole thing. I'll usually nibble a little piece off and go from there. But one thing I did want to say, I saw it because, you know, with the millions of people saying, like, you know, benzos kill people and stuff like that, and I'm sure they do. And even now, I'm just reading that, you know, suicidal thoughts and tendencies, like they're part of the deep side effects.
Yeah.
I've never read that, unfortunately. Like I guess I've looked into every other drug I've ever taken, probably except for Ativan.
Yeah.
But you know, because of this, I've now learned quite a bit, and
because of what's happened. With
Chris Cornell, and again, I also just want to say I don't even know if he killed himself. You know, I'm still on this stretch of like, who knows what happened.
Well, you know, it's strange that you say that because I don't know if it's the fact that I've been hanging around with you for the past couple of weeks, but as soon as I heard it, like I didn't really get that much information because I found out like right before I went to work. I had no data on my phone, so I couldn't even look for any leads, any developments as the day went on. I kind of just got it secondhand from people at work. But my mind immediately went to foul play.
Mine too, and mine still does. And you know, to me, like. And again, like you're going to talk to a guy tonight who was at the show, I guess.
Yep.
You know, so that's a whole other story because I've heard, you know, people say it was a weird show and things were off, and it's a tough one. I still don't quite. And the other thing that bothered me too, actually, Steve, is that how quick they came out with this suicide thing.
Yeah.
Whenever they have quick information, I usually think it's bogus, but I just wanted to say one of a musician friend of mine had posted something on Facebook that I thought was actually pretty interesting because everyone was going after Ativan, and he said perhaps Ativan didn't make him kill himself, but it gave him the calmness to do it himself.
I think so. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's to me sounds more relevant. You know, like if he really wanted to kill himself, maybe that's how that went down.
Yeah.
But for me, like taking Ativan doesn't put me in a hole. It's more if I don't have it. You know?
Right. You start to. I mean, that's when the anxiety really erupts. I mean, but I think after I started to hear more developments once I got home that day. Just the way that it sounded like, I think he hung up on his wife, and before that he just kept telling her like, I'm so tired, hung up on her, and within like 25 minutes he was dead.
Yeah, I think they said he died like 90 minutes after he walked off stage.
That's insane.
It really is.
So I think that kind of eased my mind in thinking that it was foul play because, I mean, the first detail that I got was that he was naked in a bathtub with a belt around his neck, and that wasn't even the case. But that was like the first bit of news that I heard. So
it kind of gives you that autoerotic asphyxiation,
the Michael Hutchins
New World Order type ritual death effect, right?
Yeah.
I didn't say that though, but yes.
No, of course not, and I'm going to edit that part.
You don't have to.
I'm
but
not.
It is quite creepy. And then I've watched a lot of the conspiracy guys online talking about it, and
Alex Jones?
no. No. Hey, he's not conspiracy now. He's a welcome in the White House.
He's a family man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I've seen some interesting stuff. Like, they're calling out different songs he did and different lyrics, and and then there's even one song where I guess if you play it backwards, I don't know if you are aware of that song. It says some weird things about Christmas and Santa.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, well, it's pretty interesting. I mean, you might want to, have a gander.
Do you know what song it is?
No, I don't. I actually don't. But I forget what he says. Something like "Santa is my Christmas king" or something when it's backwards.
Well, that's just obvious. That's everyone knows that.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, well, it's a little different than Britney Spears backwards. "Sleep with me, I'm not too young." But,
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of shocked me, and honestly, like every day, I kind of look for something new, and there hasn't really been many updates. So who knows? I just the other issue I believe too is he had addiction problems, right?
Yep.
And that could be it too. Like you're giving someone a highly addictive pill.
And he was by himself. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how he was with the other guys in the band, but I mean, obviously his wife was, I'm guessing, back home in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been alone. For one.
No, you're right for saying that. Like, I kind of want to know what the band had to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. They must have been like, when he got to the fifth song, he clearly seemed like he wanted to end it, or like something had to be.
Yeah.
Something had to be off. Even like I was watching like his last so many days, and like he was doing charity work with his wife, and helping children, and it seems odd that he would just kill himself.
Well, when I was talking to you earlier, I was telling you that I was reading an article in Rolling Stone, and it was kind of going over his last days, and they talked to Serge from System of a Down. They spoke to who's the other one? I think it was even Tom Morello, and like the last that each of them had spoke to him, he sounded really positive. He was looking forward to the future. But then you start, I mean, conspiracy theorist in me wants to think, like, this was all a legitimate suicide. Like, how long was he planning this? Like, because he had gotten back together with Audioslave to play it like a one-off thing at that anti-inauguration thing.
Mm-hmm.
He had tied up a couple. Oh, he toured with Temple of the Dog.
That's true too. Holy crap! Yeah.
And then I guess during soundcheck in at the Fox that night, they, instead of doing just like one song for soundcheck, they did the entire set list.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's because he just wasn't getting it right and he just wanted to do it all just to feel right, or maybe he just wanted to do each of those songs like two last time. I don't know. Like, how long had he been planning this, or was it just kind of?
Well, that could have also helped in his fatigue, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, and you see the pictures, and like he just has this look in his eye he wasn't there.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And I saw the same thing. I'm sure you've seen this too, because I think I still have a DVD from your brother of one of the second last Blind Melon performance. I don't know if you ever saw this, but like Shannon Hoon was just dead behind the eyes. He was sweating. He was pale. And then like I think they might have played another show after that, but yeah, within a few days he was dead.
So what's your reaction of like the song he finished with there, the Zeppelin tune?
See, again, that tells me that like, was he planning this?
Yeah, it makes it very suspicious.
Was it something that they'd always done? Was it just the show that they threw In My Time of Dying in at the end of Slaves and Bulldozers?
Well, see, that's what I wanted to ask you, because I had heard some people on YouTube there explaining how they always do a different song every night.
At the end?
That's what I heard. I can't verify that, but I'd heard that. So
yeah, whenever I'd seen them, it was just, I mean, I think they always close with Slaves and Bulldozers, but whenever I've seen them, I think they don't throw anything extra into it. But then
And
again,
that was, what, an 11-minute song or something?
In My Time of Dying?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how much of it he did. From what I understood, it was just like some lyrical excerpts.
Oh, I thought it was the whole thing. But I could be wrong. And the other conspiracy thing, too, was people were going into, like, you know, where we have this major eclipse coming, and, you know, they call it the Black Sun. So it's very interesting, and I don't want to put it on to Ativan at all, because I personally don't believe it. You know what? There's going to be a billion people that say I'm wrong.
Well, we wanted to talk to you because you have firsthand experience.
Yeah.
So, like,
well, I'm glad you did, because, like, you know, this is the first I've ever heard about suicide in Ativan. I believe Matthew Good tried to kill himself using Ativan with alcohol.
Like overdosing. Oh, mixing with alcohol.
Yeah, but he said he was misdiagnosed, like he was on wrong medicine for, like, bipolar or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
well,
like that, other than that, I'd never heard of anything like this with Ativan.
Well, didn't you say that you haven't really done a lot of research on Ativan? Like, Ativan was pretty much the only one that you haven't researched?
Yeah, well, that meaning, like, I didn't read the paperwork, you know, that the pharmacist gave me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first I'd ever heard, and I even was just reading. I'll read this to you real quick here, because I just saw this. Sorry, I just got to open this page here. You might have read this same thing. Chris Cornell's family says drugs, not suicide, may have killed. And then it says his attorney, Kirk Pasich, noted that Ativan can cause paranoid or suicidal thoughts and slurred speech. I don't know if you read that.
Yeah, I know that his family and the lawyer are kind of in league with it not being a legitimate suicide.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And, like, again, I don't want to say I believe anything, but if you watch some of these people explain, you know, the dark side of the industries and stuff, you know, it's weird. The Fox Theater, and you know, they claim that stands for 666. And
what's that?
The Fox Theater.
What stands for 666?
The name Fox.
I don't understand.
It's hard to explain. It's like some type of numerology. Like, they claim, you know, like, that all the numbers actually mean more than what we think, and that's why we're played out, you know? Like, 33 is the Masonic, and, you know, like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So you think you're saying that it, you know, that it's people are speculating whether it was a symbolic death?
Oh, absolutely they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely they are. But, like, I don't want to speak on that. I would just like to tell you, you know, maybe have a look at it. Maybe don't go too deep.
Well, no, for this one, I think I'm really trying to stay away from a conspiracy theory. Just based on his wife's account, that he did seem different.
How was that letter too? I didn't read that letter. My brother did. He started crying the other day.
The one that she wrote?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have to read it yourself.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to. Like I said, I had two family members kill themselves, and you know, complete different ends of the ladder as far as age went. You know, almost 90 and 26.
Really?
Yeah, and within, you know, about 6 months of each other. And you know, I don't know. I couldn't tell you with suicide, man. I've known a lot of people who killed themselves, and none of them have really reached out or shown any signs.
Well, that's something. I mean, I think we kind of touched on that last week with Drew, that it's not an easy thing to do, to reach out, whether it be if it's something severe as you're thinking of taking your own life, or it's just needing to talk to someone. I mean, I know I have my own experiences with that, not really feeling the need to wanting to reach out, but not feeling the need to reach out. And we were kind of discussing that last week as well. It's not always easy, and I was telling you earlier that it's kind of strange, because before, I believe either before episode 9 or before the roundtable, you had kind of voiced a desire to want to bring up the topic of suicide.
Yeah, I did, you know, and I really don't even know what to say about it, because, you know, I can just say, like, the same stuff, like, you know, try to help someone if you think, or talk to them. But I also know that you know, when people do sometimes reach out or say certain things, it can be a traumatic experience for them.
Yeah.
Not in the sense that they told someone, but some of the repercussions, like, you know, people who talk openly about, you know, perhaps suicide or something. Like, I knew someone on Facebook who did it, and I don't think this person meant to create a stir, but, you know, this person got handcuffed and put in an ambulance and put in, like, a padded room for days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and to me, you know, that probably isn't the right answer.
That's not gonna
kind of
help.
scary, you know, and I had my own experience at the hospital once, and I thought that, you know, I wasn't in my right mind, and, you know, they let me go pretty quick, but it was scary. It was really scary, man. Like, I didn't know, you know, when you're already at that point in your life, and then they put you in a room that possibly the doors might not open.
Yeah.
You know, it just, so, like, it's a tough one, you know.
Yeah.
Even when people do try to help others, you know, sometimes that help is very traumatic because they have to deal with you in a certain way, you know. And if you do cross the line and possibly say that, you know, oh, I want to kill myself, you know, you might not even mean it, but, you know, Joe or Bob might call someone, and next thing you know, you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's I don't think that's a healthy approach to it. But when someone is presented with that kind of information, what do you do with it?
You know, that's a good question. You know, I honestly, I wouldn't know. I honestly wouldn't know. You know, I've had probably like 6 people that I've known now commit suicide, and like I said, not one of them. Well, correction, one of them had said before,
Yeah.
but the person who had said it had been saying it for years, like every other day, and it became more of like a joke.
Or like a boy who cries wolf.
Yeah, and then it happened. Like it was my grandfather actually. I can say now, like, oh, I should have known. But one of my main things for not, because there were times where I thought, like, oh my God, I need to do something. But I knew if I did something, he couldn't handle what would have happened.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
he
yeah.
had serious issues with claustrophobia and all kinds of, we'll say, little mental disorders, right?
Yeah.
And I knew that if I tried to do something, it would have made it worse for him too. It sounds terrible now, but I mean, you know, I didn't think so. But the other 5 people, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And it's pretty sad. Like I've been trying to, like, cause everybody, even people who aren't close, really close to people, they all have to go through that. You know, what could I have done? You know, guilt.
Yeah.
So, like, even today, you know, every day I think, like, oh, what if this, what if that? And, you know, at some point, too, you have to kind of respect the person's wish.
I think so.
But, I mean, the sad part is, you know, it hurts everybody so hardly. You
Sure.
know, it hits everyone immensely. And, you know, just this past one, my family members, like, I can tell you that it completely crushed everybody. You know, the only positive was that people got together that weren't, you know, talking for years.
Oh.
But other than that, I can say that, you know, I'm going to respect his decision, but I'm going to say that, you know, it definitely mangled a lot of people.
Sure. You said he was 26?
Yeah.
Was he on any prescription medication?
I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. I'm not sure at all. And what he did was very, very dramatic. You know, he did his whole scene in public pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of people, I'm sure, were very affected by it.
Oh my God.
I don't want to say too much out of respect for her, but what happened was, like, he basically hung himself in public.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's like our whole family literally sat by his side while he was on life support until they could determine that he was pretty much brain dead. And the worst thing ever, and, you know, I guess maybe that, you know, if Cornell did do this, you know, he didn't have to go through, you know, he did the trick, I guess. He which is also weird too, you know, and I would even like to bring up Robin Williams, you know, like, because it seems like they both hung themselves in very weird, like, off doors or something.
Yeah.
You know, like a 6'2" guy hanging himself off a 6'4" door just seems odd to me.
Yeah. Well, with Robin Williams, it was I think he was trying to avoid slinking deeper into the dimension that was sorry.
Dementia.
Thank you. He didn't want the dementia to completely take over his life, so I think that's why he cut it short before he was unrecognizable. But what they're saying, I've kind of been like brushing on the topic of Ativan, and it seems like once, I mean, like any drug or anything that you take, really, like your brain specifically gets so used to it that you have to continuously up the dose, because your brain is fighting back. In order to achieve that same kind of effect that when you initially get, you have to keep taking more and more. And if you were to take that away from your system, that's when the real heavy thoughts of suicide come on, like the depression, like the drowsiness, and that's what he was telling his wife, that he was tired. And so who knows if he was planning this, or maybe just from the effects of the drugs that he was on, and maybe is because he had a really bad show. Who knows if all of this was in his head, making his decision make sense. Who knows?
Yeah, and I actually, when I got off Ativan last year, and again, I just learned this stuff, in the past, 48 hours. Like, I didn't have any withdrawal issues.
Did you quit it cold turkey, or did you slowly wean?
I pretty much quit cold turkey.
Yeah, just one day you just stopped taking it.
Yeah, I mean, because I started eating, cannabis. I started taking, cannabis pills, and I made myself, capsules.
The next day?
And what's that?
The next day?
No, when I started taking them, that's when I stopped taking Ativan.
Okay, I see. So at one point they overlapped.
Yeah, a little bit, but like I said, I only took them as needed, right?
Yeah.
Like, an example, I'm going to the dentist soon, and I just took a little nibble of one because I'm afraid to go to the dentist, Not that I'm afraid, but I get, really anxious, and, I won't freak out, but I'll feel nauseous and weird.
So if you're at home and you're never really... You have no plans of leaving home that day, you don't necessarily take one?
Yeah, unless I have a panic attack, and even then, if I can't, I try to fight it, if I can.
Yeah.
And it basically, for me, it comes down to, emergency situations. And but like I said, now that I've learned, some of these people do have serious withdrawals, serious.
Yeah.
And I was unaware.
Yeah.
So so it is interesting, and perhaps it's not good that I know this stuff now with living in my head.
Yeah.
But some people really seizures, and your heart blood pressure spikes, and all kinds of they hear things, see their eyes get really sensitive to light. And
yeah.
All kinds of psychoactive things happen to them. But again, I'm not going to say it's a bad drug. If you abuse it, any drug's bad. For me, every single doctor has told me the same thing, for decades now, that it's a very addictive drug.
Ativan is.
And again, if you're asking me, every drug's addictive. Like my blood pressure drug, I can't not take it, so how addictive is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't. Any drug the doctor gives you, you're not recommended to not take it.
Yeah.
If you started, right?
Well, yeah, and this whole discussion on medication, especially synthetic, made in a laboratory, it's a very touchy subject. I mean, I have my own stance on it. I try not to even take aspirin, but I can't really speak for someone like yourself or Chris Cornell, who almost daily relies on that just to get to zero. Yeah.
And I was pretty surprised when I heard that he was taking Ativan too.
Yeah.
Because a guy like me looks at him and thinks wow, he's got everything. Why would he have issues, right? But,
yeah.
this is part of if there is a silver lining in this, or whatever you want to call it, people do see now that everyone isn't happy, and everyone isn't, things aren't always as they appear.
Yeah. Well, and everyone's saying that, from Jerry Cantrell to Serge, to Tom Morello, to even myself. This is just the least likeliest character to do this. I still, I mean, it's been almost 2 weeks now. It's just, I can't even wrap my head around it still.
It's really strange. It really is. And, again, I would love to know more, and it's kind of sad that we want to know everything from the family, even the letter that she wrote that I haven't read yet, but stuff like that makes me think, do we even deserve to know this stuff? But
I know.
At the same time, I do want to know. I want to, because I'm going to question it all day.
Yeah, well, I've told a couple people this, but it's it's affected me so much because because I've grown up with his music. Ever since I was a child, it's like I've lost an uncle.
Yeah, right? What year was that? What year did Black Hole Sun come out? 91, 92?
No, 94.
It was 94 as well, because that was a big year. Wow.
Yeah.
Green Day. Yeah, wow. It is crazy, man. And I'm still going to say there's something fishy with it. I know everyone's going to blame Ativan.
Well, I'm not completely disregarding that, because even before you said anything, I told you that, that's, my mind went straight to foul play.
Yeah.
I'm hoping against that, but
yeah, it's kind of hard though, right? Because if you look at all the celebrities who've died, right, in the past decade, I'd say maybe a few of them didn't sound fishy, and the rest are completely really strange.
Yeah.
Prince, Michael Jackson, it's all pretty strange to me. I'll even throw in Joan Rivers.
Sure.
It's just
she was 104 years old, but
well, she was, but she spoke some very interesting information, a week and a half before she died. So,
yeah.
Who really knows? And like I said, look into some of the stuff. You don't have to take it seriously, but it will open a little bit. You'll see some other sides of what people think, and I don't know. I've always told people too. Everyone wants to be famous, and I don't think you do. I think you do. But when it comes down to it, it's not maybe what it's cracked up to be at all.
Yeah. Well, it's just so shocking because it's not like he was 27, 28, 29. He was he was out of that crazy part in his life. He was a family man, and you know.
Yeah, and I just seen a thing where they explained how when he met his wife, how much he proved to her family that he wasn't what they thought he was.
Yeah.
And he's like you said, he seemed like he had his shit together.
Probably the most out of that whole group.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, at least on the surface.
I think Eddie has his shit together. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's had his own run-ins, brushes with fate. But that's, I mean, again, that was in the past, and now he's a family man, and he might have his shit together, but it's still I almost feel like a parent when I go to these Pearl Jam concerts and I see him on his second bottle of wine. I used to think it was cool when I was 15, but now now that I'm in my 30s and he's on his second bottle of wine of the night, I'm like, really? Do you really?
Yeah, and what happens when you drink one bottle of wine?
Yeah, it makes you want to drink two.
And what did Cornell have? He had 4 kids?
He has 3. He has 2 with his wife, and then he had a daughter with he was married to Susan Silver, who managed Soundgarden and Alice in Chains back in the day.
Yes, I remember hearing that.
I'm pretty sure all those "Fuck You" songs that Audioslave have are about her.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, thanks, buddy.
Thank you guys, man.
We appreciate you taking your time before your drilling.
Before I go to the dentist, try?
Yeah. But anyway, just be careful.
Will do. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's definitely nothing to take lightly.
No.
But we'll see you soon.
right, man. Well, you guys have a good show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And rock the house.
All right, buddy.
See you, man.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Our guest tonight is no amateur to the local music scene. Furthermore, he is certainly well versed in the art of juggling multiple bands at once. We now sit down with Andrew Bateman of the Rapscallions to find out just how many bands he is currently in and to learn the fate of all the ones that are currently inactive.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Cornell's last show.
Yeah. So, how were they? Overall, how were they?
They were good. They put on a show like usual, and it sounded good. Like, they're professional. But I felt some of the bigger hits that they've been playing for years kind of dragged a little bit. Like, there wasn't that heart behind it. You know what I mean? Like when he was singing. But the newer stuff, like I was telling you earlier, like Crooked Steps was just amazing. You know.
Yeah. And that can't be an easy song to play.
No, I think it would be the hardest one.
The timing.
Yeah.
The timing.
Sing and play that. That's an accomplishment there.
Yeah.
And Cornell's a really underrated guitar player.
Yeah, he is.
Big time. The riffs he's written and stuff like that.
But for what? Some of the riffs that he plays while he's singing.
Oh, yeah.
How can you play that while you're singing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah.
But from what I was hearing is that they were, he was losing like chunks of lyrics.
Yeah, like cutting in, like when you said Spoon Man, it kind of like was late, just quick, you know, like, yeah, like I said, the heart didn't seem like it was there in some of the songs, but overall it was amazing. And that was only probably like really 3 songs, but 3 of the bigger hits, you know.
That were rough.
Yeah, yeah.
Like what was he saying like in between? Like I heard some of his banter was kind of cryptic too.
I was later on in the show, and I really wasn't really paying attention to a lot of the stuff he was saying because I was running around, I was all over the place at the end of the show, right?
Were you on the floor?
No, just drinks and back and forth and stuff like that, right? But he was talking up Detroit constantly, which was awesome. Like he was like, you know, I always brag about playing here, and he got the crowd. It made everyone feel good. You could tell, like after he said that, the place just kind of like lit up. It was nice.
Yeah,
you know, like a few times too. So it was pretty cool.
Just, I don't know. We were talking about it earlier, and it's just, I can't. I've been pretty shaken by what's happened.
Oh yeah.
But I can't imagine what it must be like for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm still a little bit in shock. It's hard to believe. You know, when you hear his songs on the radio, you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
He's not coming out with anything else, you know, and it's like, I mean, he left us with a lot of music, but waking up the next morning was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we all just, I went to the concert with my sister and my brother-in-law, and they almost sold their tickets, and they're trying to get out of it a little bit. Like, oh, we'll see him again, and blah, blah, blah. And they're so glad that, you know, they went.
There's always a next time, right?
Yeah. And then Alex, you know, from the Rapscallions, him and his wife Katie, they went, and we woke up in the morning, and they were kind of like, I think I was telling you earlier, they're excited and making noise, and I'm like, they never make noise. And they're excited, you know, and all of a sudden it was like, I was like, what's going on? And they said, no, Cornell passed away last night. And I didn't believe him. I had to go on my phone. As soon as I did, just messages, and it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
One of those days you'll never forget, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. I woke up randomly. It was like 4 a.m. And, you know, instinct, you just go to your phone.
Yeah.
As soon as you wake up.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I see. You know, like you turn on Facebook, and the very first post from like 20 minutes ago was something about him. And I'm like, no. And, you know, I'm still asleep. And I'm scrolling down, and it's like one of the news sources that I follow, like Consequence of Sound or something like that. And that was the story.
Yeah.
I just let out a big, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, my best friend was telling me, and he was waking me up after a long night of partying at a concert, right? So I was like...
His concert.
Yeah.
His
concert, too. So it wasn't just... And I was like, what's going on? You know, and he's like, he's dead. I was like, he is not dead. Come on. And then, yeah, it was just, wow. And we all sat there for probably 3-4 hours. Just like, what? You know, like, yeah, it's such a tragic thing. I was saying earlier, it's such a tragic thing.
Yeah.
But we're so lucky we were there. Like, I mean, to be there and in his last moments with him and stuff like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Was the show cut short, or did he play it? Was it full?
I don't think so. No average show.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact time, but I remember thinking. I remember by the end of it, I was like, okay,
Time to go.
I've had some drinks and
Yeah.
like a typical show. It was good. It was fun.
The older we get, I think it reaches a certain point in the concert. We're like, all right,
Creeping up on 11:30. I gotta be getting home.
We all took the next day off work because we knew it was gonna be. We wanted to enjoy it and stuff. So
nice.
I'm glad. Yeah, we're all glad we did it for sure.
There was a moment that he walked off stage, wasn't there? I heard that he walked off stage for a bit, and then they were just kind of forced to do an instrumental.
Yeah, I don't remember that part. It must have been a later song at that point, but he was. There's a lot of guitar changes. Like they have so many different tunings. There's a lot of guitar changes and stuff like that. So there's a lot of delays and stuff like that. Like nothing too big. I didn't notice a whole lot. Yeah. If he did, it wasn't long.
Yeah. Had you seen Soundgarden before?
Yeah, it was I believe it was my first concert. Either that or Silverchair. I can't remember which one.
Let's talk about both of those shows.
Okay, all right. So the Soundgarden one was right when Black Hole Sun came out.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and it was I was 16. And
for Super Unknown?
Yeah, it was.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Get out of my house.
What's not the State Theater? It's Pine Knob, right? With it's like an amphitheater thing with
Pine Knob?
Yeah, when it was see, I'm old school, right? So
No,
that's what I call it.
DTE.
Oh, DTE.
It took me a long time
I can't
to
get used
change
to
over.
it.
I still call it Pine Knob for years.
Isn't the State Theater something else now too? Or?
Yeah,
Fillmore.
Yeah, so
No, it's
you
still
guys
State.
get it though.
It's still State. Yeah,
Big V.
yeah.
Shoppers is still Big V.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that concert I was 16, it was great because you know how the sidewalk is pretty wide, right? The hill goes down and you got the sidewalk there.
Yeah.
Well, they come out, they're doing Jesus Christ pose, and they're just blazing, right? Coming out, and he did the cross thing with the guitar and stuff, and the place went nuts. And the mosh pit was so big and crazy that people were running off the hill, jumping on top of the pit and getting thrown on top of people in the pavilion.
Yeah.
And it all happened so fast. It looked like a big gang war. Yeah. It was awesome. And I remember sitting there, I saw my buddy in there getting tossed around, and I was like, no way.
Yeah.
I'm not a big dude, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome. And they were amazing. I heard all this stuff. Oh, Cornell can't do it live and all that. You've heard it,
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I mean, when he's singing, he's reaching for the moon. Imagine trying to do that every night, you know? So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Sometimes yes, sometimes, yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
It's like Chino from Deftones. It's hit or miss.
Yeah, because it's a hard gig, right? I mean,
So,
but he was on that night, and I was just, wow, it was great. And it was at the peak of, Black Hole Sun and all that. So it was
okay, hurt me some more. Who are they with?
Oh, no one big. 10 and 11. The bands were called 10
Oh,
and
11. I know 11.
Oh, really? I have never heard of them since and saw them. And the one band had, they were cool.
Yeah.
They were different, but I was like, wow, you go to Soundgarden, at that point, Black Hole Sun, you think you'd have someone open up, somebody.
The other guy in Them Crooked Vultures, the bald guy, the second guitarist.
Okay.
That's Alan Johannes from 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he played that night probably at the Soundgarden concert when they opened up.
For 11, yeah.
Yeah, oh, cool.
And
cool.
it was the drummer was Jack Irons, who would eventually join Pearl Jam.
That's right. I knew that later. My buddies were telling me that. I know. Yeah.
But I think it's a 3-piece.
Irons played on Vitology, right?
I think one song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Stupid Mop.
Oh, okay.
But he was on No Code and Yield.
Oh, okay. I knew he was on a couple of them, or one or two or something.
Yeah. So it was a 3-piece. It was Alan Johannes singing, and there was a female in that band
playing keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was pulling out sex toys and placing them on her keyboards.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but since you brought it up,
well, yeah. She and Alan Johannes helped write Chris Cornell's first solo record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty much both of them. They were in Queens of the Stone Age at one point.
Oh, my.
And that's the first time I saw Alan Johannes was on bass, and she was on keyboards. She died 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
Of cancer. Yeah.
That's I mean, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought these two bands, when you're who opened up, I'm like, oh, man, it's not really much to talk about.
I was hoping you were going to say 11 because I think I have a Super Unknown tour poster.
Oh, okay.
Who are the names? 11? Reverend Horton Heat? No?
If you don't want to tell us, you don't have to.
All right, so let's talk Let's talk about Silverchair.
Oh, okay. So they played at the end. It was on, what was that, amphitheater thing? On the top of a parking garage. It's like this huge, it was like 89X festival. Like
Detroit?
Birthday bash thing or something. Korn played it the next year, I think. But anyway, so Silverchair is like the last band. And they were young, man. He looked so, I think he was like 16, right? Like, he looked so young. And we're pretty sure it was one of their first shows in America. It had to have been. And his mom was standing like,
no kidding,
like not even 10 feet from him, right? Like really close. Like, you could tell it was his mom.
That's cute.
You know? Yeah. And
she's spitting on napkins and like brushing.
No, he was
super
super nervous, and it showed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But they come out with their instrumental off of
Madman.
Yeah.
Was this for Frog Stomp?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they come out with that instrumental and jamming it, and it was awesome. But like, you know, everyone's kind of like waiting for the vocals because, you know, everyone's waiting for was it Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And you know, so nothing, and then he started playing that song, and he was having big time difficulties with the monitor or something. He just kept saying, I remember with his Australian accent, more vocals, you know, and by about the third song they started rocking it, and they you know, they played the hits, and it was good. It was really good. He was super impressive because, you know, I mean, he's 16 years old. You're watching him, and everyone's eyes are on him, and he's carrying that band, and it was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
At the beginning, watching him play the instrumental, you were like, ooh, you know, I was a little nervous for him, eh?
Yeah,
but it was cool.
We could probably just like go on and on about the shit that you've seen.
No, I haven't seen that many concerts. It's just, I pick my spots. It's like I pick my spots well.
You done well.
Yeah, not bad.
You done well.
Thanks.
We are speaking with. I'm going to say it anyway. We are speaking with Andrew Bateman of the Rapscallions. Andrew, welcome to Basement Place.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so is it Andrew or is it Drew?
Whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
See, this is the same thing as last Andrew. Like, this is how I met you, I think, was by Andrew. But if you want Drew,
whatever's you're comfortable with.
Okay.
The last guest was much more passionate.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, he was
about the.
Yeah, he was screaming and throwing fists down and.
No, I'll be a little more easier going.
Yeah, good. I don't know. I think I want to go Andrew. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Go with the flow.
No, don't surprise me, Kale. Do not surprise me.
Might be an Andy.
Oh no.
Oh, it's just not Andy though.
Yeah.
I think you specifically made sure that.
I don't think I'm the Andy type.
No,
that's where the line is.
Yeah.
I mean, if I met you as Andy, then yeah, but
yeah.
I can't transition to Andy.
Andy's more of like a farm boy type guy.
Oh, like like
so.
Andy in The Office. Like that's a perfect Andy.
Oh yeah, I know
right
that
there.
guy's cool though.
Right there. So where are you originally from?
I was born in like Leamington. I grew up in Leamington.
Okay.
And then my high school years in Chatham. And that was when all the music and stuff started, right? The old grunge scene in the 90s and all that. I was lucky enough to go to a small school that did a lot with music and stuff like that. And our music teacher was super cool, so we had us in all the time doing band nights. So it was awesome, you know. It was fun. Yeah, and then moved. I've been bouncing around from Windsor, Leamington. I'm in actually Chatham now. So.
Oh, you live in
Chatham? Well, yeah, I came back to Chatham. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, outside of Chatham,
Okay.
Pancor actually. You know where Pancor is?
No.
No, very small French community outside of Chatham.
You know Pancor?
No.
You drive.
I was gonna say,
you do a little bit more driving
I was
around.
gonna say
that
I've
area.
never heard of that, and I do a lot of like just
random
back roads in small towns.
Well, my girlfriend's from the States, right? So I cross the border all the time.
Yeah.
And when they ask me where I'm from,
Right.
they're like, "Where's that?"
That is made up.
Yeah.
Pull your
Something's up
car
with this.
over.
Yeah.
If you don't want to tell us, so.
No, actually, it's where my parents are, and my apartment's it's pretty nice. And across the street is a beer store, 27 steps from my back door.
Hey,
so
that
was
is-
the
yeah,
sealed the
okay,
deal.
okay.
Yeah.
We've counted.
Pancor on the map. Any siblings?
Yes, I have a younger sister. Well, I have 3 sisters.
That just the way that you said yes, it made it sound like you had a lot of sisters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, I'm not very close with the 2 older ones. They're cool and stuff. I don't really see them a whole lot, but my younger one I'm pretty close with. And
Yeah.
she's the one that went to the Soundgarden with me.
Oh, yeah.
And she's gone to like Jack White and audio slave, and her husband's super cool, and we actually jam sometimes, do a little acoustic stuff, not a lot, just a little blue stuff, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Growing up, hobbies?
Sports, big time.
What did you play?
Everything. I mean, I was a travel goalie from the age 5 till I was 16.
Really?
Yeah. Baseball big time. I love baseball. It was big in my family.
Mine too.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a good sport, man.
Yeah.
And then high school, of course, I took to basketball like crazy and volleyball. So
yeah,
I wasn't very good.
Yeah. You still played.
Yeah, I made the teams. I was like the last guy on the bench, like the hustler and stuff like that. But yeah.
Are you going football too?
I played football. I just never got into it, It's such a different sport compared to...
A lot of stop-starts, eh?
Yeah. Like, you only actually play 7 minutes.
Oh, my God. I just heard that, a couple days ago.
Yeah, it really bothered me when I heard that. I was like, that's why I don't like it, There's something about it. It's just like, you only actually play 7 minutes of that whole time. The rest is just, setting up, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Did that stat just come out or something? Because someone just told me that a couple days ago.
No, I heard it about a year. I'd say a year ago.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's funny, eh?
Yeah, a lot of equipment for 7 minutes.
Yeah. Did you play football?
No. My brother was more of the sports guy.
Did you play anything?
I played baseball for a lot. Like you, I came from a baseball family.
Yeah.
Like my family still, like my little 6-year-old niece is in baseball right now.
Oh yeah.
But I think, I was going to ask you the same thing. Like, are you still active in sports?
Yeah.
You are?
Very. I play on 3 baseball teams.
I would say so, yes.
I actually,
active,
this summer, I kind of, I got them in a couple bands, and I kind of put 2 of them a little bit, on ice a little bit, because I'm getting older, and I'll be able to jam always, but I want to have one more good year of baseball. So, yeah, I play men's softball. I'm on 2 teams. Wheatley team and Chatham team, and then my mixed team, my family team out in Buxton. It's pretty fun.
And you have a few bands. You just don't know how to have one of something.
No, well, no kids, and I'm a little older.
Frees up your time.
Yeah, I like to keep busy. I like to do things, and I like to be sociable, and baseball and band stuff. Always hanging out with cool people or same interests, right? Yeah. So it's a good time.
Yeah. Any other sports that you're still?
I don't think so. No, I just I couldn't play. I don't think I could play basketball anymore and volleyball like I used to. Not that I was any good, but I had a little bit of wheels and stuff like that. But it's hard on the knees, eh?
Yeah.
And the hands,
Yeah.
My hands, as time's gone on. I'm a painter during the day too, right?
Okay.
So I use my hands constantly. So no more basketball for me for sure. Sports like that, but. Baseball's fun.
Still playing baseball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, I think for me, I was 13 or 14 was my last year of baseball.
And you haven't played since?
No.
Really?
And I get this from my brother a lot because I throw both hands. And and he thinks that should be utilized.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I guess. It's a parlor trick now. I'm not doing anything with them. But
just drinking beers with both hands.
I could do that.
Can you play guitar both ways?
No. See, throwing a baseball is the only thing I can do.
Oh, that's crazy though.
Football just left. Soccer right, punting a football right. I bat left.
See, we're the
hockey left.
See, we're the same. I can't do anything with both hands, but I'm like that, left hockey, right baseball. I'm back forth all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And I'm left-handed when I write, but I throw.
You're left-handed when you write.
Yeah, but
I write right.
Yeah. So that's crazy though. So can I ask you a question? Did you pitch when you played hardball growing up? Did you pitch?
Yeah.
So did you switch hands?
Yeah.
My God.
I was.
Sorry, I'm a big fan.
So okay,
man, your coach must have loved you.
I brought it. Yes, my dad does love me.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Did you have a 6-fingered mitt?
No. I know what you're talking about. The guy in MLB had one back in the 90s or something.
Yeah, Harrison. I believe it's Harrison. He played for Boston. But there's another guy right now, and I think he's in the Blue Jay organization. And he, so you'll get the, so he comes up, switch hitter comes up. So he switches hands. The guy switches in the box.
But he can't.
Did you see that?
He can't go back and forth.
Yeah, because the pitch hasn't been thrown yet. If the first pitch hasn't been thrown yet, you can jump back and forth. There's no pitch that's been thrown. So as soon as you switch hands.
Of the inning or his entire.
His at bat, right?
Okay.
So when you walk up to the plate, he's sitting there right-handed.
Yeah.
So he walks up left-handed.
Yeah.
So then the pitcher switch. So then the batter switch. So then the pitcher switch.
They can do
and the
that
batter
in
switch.
MLB?
And it went on for like 10 minutes. And finally, I'm like, okay, man.
Without throwing a pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just setting up.
Yeah.
See, like what?
Because as soon as he changes his hand,
Right,
he
yeah.
jumps over the box,
Yeah.
right? And so it's a timeout.
Yeah.
And legit.
Well,
Yeah.
Legitimate. Like, what can the umpire say?
Yeah, that's
I don't know. I
true.
found it really
Or
funny.
you just throw like a ball or something, right? Yeah. If you throw one ball and sacrifice that, then he has to lock into a position, right?
Right. But I think the batter, like, he can hold the time, right?
Yeah, but you can't switch like. Yeah, like say like a pitch was thrown.
That's
you
what you
can't.
said once one pitch is thrown. Or
You can't switch
Can you
sides.
reset up? Could you just start doing that again after the next pitch?
No, once a pitch is thrown, you have to be set.
Yeah.
That's why. But and, as soon as he switches a glove, he just steps right out of the box, right? I mean, the umpire is going to give him time,
Yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah.
no, it's pretty
See,
crazy.
what happened in Little League was my stronger arm is right. I'm not fully developed left for pitching, so I'm a little bit wilder. Like it'll be a lot of like dirt balls. Like by the time it got to the catcher, so I would pitch most of the game. Like what's Little League, 7 innings?
Yeah, I can't
It's been a
remember.
while.
Yeah. And I haven't watched any since.
Mercy rule usually too.
Well,
Yeah, it's like,
Well,
like 20 runs or something.
I would pitch most of the game with my right arm. 5 innings, hopefully. And then the last 2, I would switch arms, but I was counted as a totally separate pitcher.
Oh my! Oh,
I really don't.
Did they
Right
have
arm
pitch
Steve
count?
and-
Yeah, they have pitch
Right
count
arm
on.
Stevie and left arm Stevie.
Yeah. So like I would decide to switch over to my left, and then it would be a timeout, and I would warm up with my left arm, and then play would resume.
Did they have a pitch count on you then? Is that why you were considered a different pitcher because you came with your left arm? Because I know now with younger kids, how old are you?
34.
34. I don't know if you fell under that. They didn't care when I was a kid, but now with kids, they have a pitch count, right?
No, I don't think they ever had that.
You know what I mean? Like they only let them throw like 30 pitches because it can mess up your arm.
Oh,
so
and
I was
then-
wondering
and
if
then
they're
you're out of the game.
Yeah, so I was wondering if they like, what, right arm's done, get to his left arm.
It was mostly like just like fatigue, just like okay, I have nothing else in this arm. So I would switch over to left, and like I do terribly because this is my silver medal right here.
Yeah.
So.
Were you allowed to switch between pitches?
No, that's why I was asking.
Or
if
even
I was surprised.
between at bats?
No, yeah, I could, but I couldn't. Like if I went to this arm, if I went to the left arm, I couldn't go back to the right arm ever again because once I've switched to this arm,
physically or laws.
well, the rules of baseball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the rules of baseball is just like once I decide to switch arms, that's like changing.
See,
the
that must
pitcher.
be illegal. Yeah, it must be a little league
I
thing.
thought that was the advantage where you could.
Yeah, no, because they did it
between
in the
pitches.
that guy I was talking about. He did it in the minors, and Harrison would do it sometimes too. So, but yeah, that must have been a little league rule or something. But that's crazy.
Thinking about it now, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even have a rule in place for that. Like I was just like the
That's
trailblazer.
rare.
Yeah.
You're the only person I've ever met.
According to
that
the Steve Lefebvre rule, you can't change.
Later on, they'll get Steve Lefebvre's disease.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll play catch later.
That's not the worst. That's not the worst thing the Steve Lefebvre rule could be for.
Well, if it buys me infamy, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, dude, you gotta have pants on in here. Because of the Steve Lefebvre.
But yeah, like my brother will bother me a lot about coming back in because I think he's on 2 softball teams too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he wants me to come play with him. I'm just like,
Could you do underhand both?
probably it's.
I would like to.
It's underhand.
I would like to see you play a competitive men's, just because of the way other guys are.
Do you want me to join your team?
Yeah, just to see the way
You
you
don't
would
give a
react
shit?
to like guys that are all, going crazy and intense. You
Yeah.
would just laugh, like on your own team and stuff too.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I
Because-
can't take it serious. We're having beers and hitting
Yeah.
a ball that gets tossed 12
Right,
feet in the
yeah.
air at you. Come on,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You can tie your shoe while it's coming at you.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some competitive people.
Oh yeah.
There's
I'm pretty competitive, but at the same time, I don't.
You gotta be
But-
competitive enough for it to be fun, but
Yeah.
the other way.
But
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. In between plays, you're sipping on
matters
beer and like
Oh,
how.
yeah, socializing. I don't even pay attention sometimes. They'll be like,
oh, we're back out in the field.
Yeah.
my mixed team's over because they'll be like, "Who's up? Who's up?" I'm like, "Oh, it's me." You know what I mean? I'll know that, like, and I'm like, "Oh, it's me."
You take your.
I'm not ready.
You take
You're on
your
the
feet
ball.
out of the kiddie pool that we're
Yeah.
soaking.
the margarita pool.
Wow. So, baseball player.
Yeah.
Okay. How long did you play baseball for?
One season.
One season, yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah?
used to play a lot just in the backyard and stuff. But
We played against each other.
Like Little League stuff?
No, like just for fun mostly. But I played 1 year in Little League.
Yeah.
Grade 5, I think.
and I
So
pitched
like 10.
against. I pitched
Yeah,
against
probably.
you. Did I pitch
You
with
probably-
both?
Seriously?
Did I? Yeah. Did
Yes.
I pitch with both arms?
You probably struck me out. I don't know. I remember I got like 3 hits in the season or something.
I was gonna say
made-
real
I made a good,
memorable.
I was thinking about that recently because I don't know if you were talking about it on another show, but I remember like 2 good plays that I made like in the outfield. One was just like a pop fly, but I had to like run full speed for it and just caught it.
Yeah.
That was a highlight. And then there's another time where
The
I
day
think I
your
was
dad
short.
didn't show up.
Yeah. I think I was like shortstop and I had to like cover second on a play. And I
Yeah.
had like a hot box going, and I actually went back and forth a couple times, and I actually got it and tagged the guy out.
Yeah.
And that was it. And like I said, a few hits, but nothing. A lot of strikeouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1 year.
It was a good year, man. I remember pitching against you and Joel
Yeah.
on the same team.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
I think
it
I
was a
hit
few
one of
people,
you.
yeah.
I wasn't a very good pitcher.
Everyone does when you're young.
Yeah,
There's
even-
a lot of
yeah, yeah.
plunking going on.
Even
You
my
probably
strongest arm,
I
even
think
my
yeah,
right
I
arm,
think
I
Nick
was.
might have even played that year too.
Um,
For 1 year again.
So, getting to music now.
All right.
Going way back when you were a wee lad.
Oh boy.
What were your earliest memories of music? Like, what were you listening to because of maybe parental guidance?
I was okay, and I
As embarrassing as.
oh yeah, and I knew I was coming. Right, I knew I was coming here to and everything, so I prepared a little bit.
Yeah.
And I had supper. We had supper with my mom last night and my stepdad.
Yeah.
And I asked her, and so my mom worked in radio my whole life growing up, right? So
Really?
she very wrote commercials and stuff. She's a writer, right?
That's cool.
And then she got into selling advertising and stuff like that. But yeah, so my first memories, of course, was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's been an answer
80s.
on here before.
Yeah. I had the zipper jacket and the glove.
My
right?
brother too.
Yeah, I mean, I was coolest, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
of that. But Hall & Oates from my parents, but a big influence, and especially later on, like as like grade 6 or 7, I went nuts over it. Was the Doors, because my mom was like just not gaga over the Doors.
That's a big leap from Hall & Oates.
Yeah,
to the
I know,
Doors.
I know. That's what I said to my mom last night. I was like, did you? She's like, I played the Doors all the time when you were younger, growing up.
Yeah.
Like, what you might not remember as much as Michael Jackson stuff like that, but I would always have it playing.
Yeah.
When she graduated high school, her future occupation was to be the manager of the Doors. So I think that's pretty cool.
So your mom's pretty cool.
Yeah, my mom's pretty cool. Yeah, for sure.
So you got Jackson, Hall & Oates,
Yeah,
and the Doors.
yeah. Those are like early, right?
Yeah. So when you finally started to, well, I guess, I mean, that's a good start as far as
Not
like
bad.
just being guided. But like once you started to find yourself in, like independently seeking out,
Metallica.
that was the first.
Yeah, I think I was like 10 or 11, and my buddy showed me Injustice for All, and I saw the rest of it. I mean, you didn't hear anything like that on the radio, man, like even close.
Yeah.
That was so heavy to us, and just like, and it was so in your face. It was cool. I never heard anything. I remember hearing Van Halen and Skyscraper, David Lee Roth solo album, thinking like, oh my god, it's so heavy and this is awesome. I like this. It's like hard rock. And then I heard Metallica
And then-
and stuff. I was like, oh, screw that stuff.
Yeah.
Like respect those guys, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that did it for me for a long time.
Is that still your big love, Metallica?
No.
That
I mean,
kinda-
it
that-
is.
that kinda- yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're top 5 of all time, but
It's a
I mean,
gateway drug.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
new album is awesome, man. I
Is it?
love it. Oh, the new Metallica is so good.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. Like to reinvent yourself like that, and bring back the old sound with a new style, and drop your producer at the same time. Like they didn't work with Bob Rock or any of those big guys, right? They went back to just Lars and James Ryan. So good.
Yeah.
So cool. But yeah, that got me into music. That got me when I saw Cliff Burton play bass. I said, I want to do that.
Yeah.
When I saw Cliff playing, I want to do something like that. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So
How do you feel about like Saint Anger?
it's cool. It's not something
Do you hear how his voice went up?
Does that mean I'm lying?
It peaked on the level. It's like a lie detector. Right here, where it's like a,
You're spiking over there, Drew.
No, I like watching them live. I remember, I think if you popped in the CD, there's like live footage of them at their jam spot for like 5 songs, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one of their weaker albums. I don't know. Everyone feels the same. It's pretty hard to match those first 4.
It is, yeah.
Or 5? Yeah, 5. Even like the Black Album was, that put them on the map, really.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
Well, see, I'm not. We've talked about this on the show before when my brother was on. Actually, we were never huge Metallica fans. Like, we came into them for the Black Album.
Oh,
And like them and Pearl Jam were my first. Like, they were my gateway into the rock world. And I kind
Metallica and Pearl Jam?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just because of this mixtape that my brother brought home.
Oh,
it was 2 Pearl Jam songs. And
so how old were you when you first heard Metallica? So so I would have been grade 8. That's what I'm thinking. Like, because I think I'm like grade 8.
8 years old. If it was 91, then I was 8.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's early, and that's that's good.
But it was only Wherever I May Roam. That was the only song.
See, you younger guy, even just a little bit younger.
I'll take it.
So you have so much, better influences and was exposed to so much more.
Okay.
Like I heard about Metallica on a mixtape that Buddy gave me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it only gave me a couple songs, right?
Yeah.
Where you guys had more access to stuff like that.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I was a little too young. Like, I was surprised. Like, I was 11. Okay, I must have been like 9, 10, 11, around that age, getting into that stuff. I thought that was pretty young because I should still be like listening to Raffi and
it is. I agree.
Penner. But at
older brother.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Because I was listening to like Bobby Brown and Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men because that's what he was listening to. And then he brought this tape home with 2 Pearl Jam and 1 Metallica on it, and that was it.
Yeah.
But like on the other side of the token, you were old enough to go to these shows that I was too young for.
Oh yeah.
You're telling me about seeing Soundgarden during the Super Unknown tour, like that.
Yeah,
crushes me because I didn't see Soundgarden until they got back together at Lollapalooza 7 years ago.
Oh really? Okay.
That was my first time seeing them, which was amazing. But like I never saw them like in their prime.
Yeah.
So it's.
I hear you.
It goes back and forth. But going back to Saint Anger, like I seen that documentary, the Some Kind of Monster.
Oh yeah,
like
I really liked watching it just because they got it so exposed. For
You're like
what
a fly on the wall, right?
Yeah. I thought that was very entertaining. I wish more bands did that. To tell you the truth, it was really entertaining.
Have you seen that, Kale?
Even if you're not a Metallica fan,
you lent it to me for like a year, and I just never got around to watching it because you had also lent me the book.
The book
that the guy who made the film wrote. He wrote this book about making it.
Oh,
so for one, I already felt like I saw it, and I'm just not that big of a Metallica fan to watch. Like, what is it, 3 hours?
Almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
So the book was about the guy who actually filmed it.
Yeah.
The 2 guys that produced this.
Yeah. So can I ask you a question? Was his kind of outcome of it? Like, what did he say about it and stuff like that? About dealing with them?
He kind of just said a lot of stuff, just honestly. Like,
did you you read the book?
Yeah, I read the book.
Okay.
Like,
that's what I mean. I never felt like I need to watch the film. Well, I should, because obviously
you'll know what they're talking about a little better. See,
I read the book. I just
book.
never got around to it because I just didn't have that time. And like I said, I already felt like I knew it. So.
Yeah. I read the book after I saw it, so I knew I already had like an image in there. But there were a lot of embarrassing points in that.
It is pretty honest.
In the book?
It is pretty
honest. In the documentary.
Oh yeah.
When they have to break up with the psychiatrist, like that is awkward as fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So like on both sides, it's just like it's embarrassing to watch, but at the same time, it's fascinating. Like because you're a fly on the wall.
Okay, I started out with bass, right? So I was a little.
Oh, you were a bassist first.
Yeah, when I started playing, I didn't really touch a guitar until I was like 25, 26.
Really?
Yeah.
You were a late bloomer.
Yeah. Well, I took a lot of years off. I didn't really play between like age of like 22 to 25, 26.
Okay.
And then when I went back to it, I grabbed guitar.
So who inspired you to initially pick up a bass?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Cliff Burton and Jason Newsted.
Okay.
And when Jason Newsted makes that phone call, I know about the phone call in Some Kind of Monster when they're going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Do you remember that? So they're getting inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And they just get their new bass player. I forget his name.
Rob Trujillo.
Yes.
Trujillo.
We know who you're talking about.
We'll exit the. We'll put in the. We'll slice
the Siri.
Yeah.
Siri saying it.
Overdub it.
Yeah.
Properly. But
right
anyway,
there, right there.
So in Some Kind of Monster, they decide they're going to go to it with him when they get inducted. It's kind of a kick in his, kind of insulting the Newstead a little bit.
There's been a lot of those at the Rock Hall. Like, there's so much drama that goes every single fucking year.
Yeah.
There's drama.
Yeah.
Like with Pearl Jam this year. With,
the Guns N' Roses and right.
Yeah, because they weren't together yet, eh?
Yeah. I don't think Izzy showed up.
They didn't play. Kiss didn't play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley have a large beef with the runners, and rightfully so. Like, they have, as much as I don't really care for Gene Simmons, they have a point as far as like what they're angry about. Steve Miller, remember the Steve Miller thing a couple years ago?
What happened there?
Well, he's kind of a curmudgeon anyway in his in his old age, but he's got a point because you get 2 tickets, I guess. And then anything else, any other tickets that you want for like family members, they're like $5,000 each for an inductee. Steve Miller was getting inducted, and they were going to charge him $5,000 a ticket.
Oh my goodness!
For family members. So he didn't even want to be there. He was up on stage and he was just blasting the Rock Hall the entire fucking time. Black Keys were the ones who introduced them. And they even said, like, man, he was a dick to us. Like, we were. It was an honor for us to like induct him. But like by the time like we met him and he just like brushed us off, like they didn't even care anymore.
You
know
what it's like to play local shows, and you've been playing for a long time.
Yeah.
You know it's like when you get jerked around, and it's even like it could just be like $50 to $100.
Like I said, he's got a point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm totally on his side.
Oh yeah.
But he didn't have to be a dick to the Black Keys because there's like we were so disenchanted after that. Once they walked off stage and he took the acceptance speech, they said they walked right out and into a cab.
Oh wow!
Got the fuck out of there. Like, well, fuck this. Like, they were all excited to meet him, and then he just like,
total
whatever. Didn't even know who they were. But no, yes, he has a point.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's always drama at the Rock Hall.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah,
such an honor and a thing that should be like looked at as a good thing. Looked at
always.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Always. But is it for ratings?
Yeah, who knows?
Your conspiracy theory.
We're talking about it. Gets people talking about it, right?
Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah,
talking about it,
broadcasting it to tens of people.
Tens of people.
So, do you remember when Cliff died?
No.
Too young.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wasn't into Metallica yet.
Oh, so you got
just
into
right
them.
after he passed away.
Okay.
I don't know exactly the amount of time, but I'm guessing like no more than a year. After I really got introduced to it.
When did he die?
Because right after the Puppets, so that must have been 86. Around 86, 87. They were on tour, right? It was a bus tour.
There's hardcore Metallica fans listening to this right now.
They hate me. I know. I know. I can sing you every song.
Well, like I feel pretty green too. Like he was on Master of Puppets.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, I didn't even know that. So like, now, see, I've taken some of the brunt off you, and now Metallica fans are just.
No, actually, I know a lot about his death and stuff. Like, I just don't know the exact dates, right?
Yeah.
And the whole thing about the bus flipping over and him, falling out the window or being half out the window and the bus crushing him, and then actually. They brought this crane in to pick up the bus, and they don't know if he was still alive or not. He could have been, and they picked up the bus and then dropped it back on him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the bus driver, like I've seen James talking in interviews where the bus driver complained about black ice, where James, I just remember running up and down the streets in my underwear looking for this black ice he claimed to see, and they were going off on the bus driver between Kirk and James. Yeah, pretty crazy. Horrible.
My God, yeah. I didn't know that.
I remember Hammett talking about that when they lift the bus up, that they dropped it back down, and they actually put a blanket on Cliff. They put a blanket on him, and I think the bus driver, someone's trying to pull the blanket off him because they were cold and stuff like that. Like after he passed, and they're like, but they're fighting him. Don't touch him,
Yeah.
And, just sounds like a horrible experience. Like. How can it get worse than that?
Yeah.
As a band on tour, what would be the worst thing that happened? That.
Like they were like, he had 3 chances to die.
Yeah.
Like just falling out of the bus, one.
Yeah.
and then the bus crushing you, and then the bus crushing you again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did not know that.
Yeah.
All these years, all these Metallica fans that we've surrounded ourselves with, I have never heard that.
Oh yeah. I know. I was shocked by it too. I was blown away by it. I've seen a lot of Cliff stuff. I watched a lot of stuff. It's there's a lot of documentaries on that stuff. Cliff 'em all. You ever seen Cliff 'em all?
No. I'm not a huge Metallica fan.
Yeah, that's true.
My favorite Metallica album is the Black Album.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So, I know a lot of people are hating me right now. So I understand.
I gotta say, Ride the Lightning
is your favorite.
Yeah, Ride the Lightning. Yeah, Creeping Death, Trapped Under Ice, For Whom the Bell Tolls. It's pretty good album.
Yeah.
But I'll listen to any of them.
Yeah.
Any of the four.
Someone else was down here saying that, Ride the Lightning. I think it was John Lazelle.
Yeah.
He was saying Ride the Lightning.
Good taste in music.
Yeah. So when you were playing bass for a while.
Yeah.
How long until you picked up the guitar? You said you were 25.
Yeah, so I played bass like in a bunch of bands from like 15 to I guess I was like 20, 21. I was singing. Some of the bands I was a singer.
Yeah.
Always did backups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I was like 21, 22, and I moved to Leamington, and I was heavily influenced to stop jamming and get a job, and at
the Heinz plant.
No. It was actually family work. It was actually family. No, not the Heinz plant. Thank God.
Not the greenhouses.
No, not the greenhouse. No, that's when I started.
What
painting.
else is there?
Nothing to do with tomatoes.
Oh, they all own homes. They got to be painted, right?
Yeah.
So I started painting and kind of dropped it for a bit. And I'll be honest, it made me miserable. It was horrible. I didn't know it. I was too young to realize that I needed that release and that outlet of creativity and stuff like that, and I couldn't figure it out. I was so unhappy for a long time, and I was going down a bad path a bit.
Living in Leamington.
Yeah. And one day, one of my friends that I've known my whole life, I played hockey with him when I was 6 years old, and he come out with acoustic guitar. And he was like, check this out, I bought a guitar, and I kind of do this. I was like, give me that, You didn't know what you're doing, So I started playing, and next thing you know, I was like, okay, I need to grab a guitar.
Yeah.
And it just changed everything, It motivated me, and, kind of, music in a way, changed me, saved me in a way, you know what I mean, from a wrong path.
Hey, I hear you.
Yeah.
So what were you, by the time you got into guitar, what were you into?
Audioslave. Audioslave brought me out of
Really?
I was into this rap and stuff because rap was really good from my age of 20 to 25.
Mid
Jay-Z,
mid 90s.
Yeah, when Jay-Z
90s.
came out with Big Pimpin' and Wu-Tang was still kicking around and there's tons of stuff. Really good stuff. I still I don't know if it's just I'm older or whatever, but I don't think today's rap matches up to that stuff. Not even for a second. But,
you know what? I'm gonna have to agree with you
mm-hmm.
because I don't like the stigma of just because the time has passed that, you're stuck in your ways. And
I'm open-minded. I like new stuff.
As am I.
Yeah.
Legitimately, shit is not right these days. As a whole,
Yeah.
And, maybe it is nostalgia. I don't care. If it's just nostalgia, whatever, I'll live with that. Just, the 90s.
Yeah.
You and I were talking at a show that we played together at a venue. Afterwards, that because we kind of realizing our bands are very similar. Yeah, it's just we were talking about the 90s and how it just right?
Oh, yeah.
I think that I can't remember exactly what we were saying, but the theme of it was the 90s, right?
Yeah. That was our talk at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Audioslave it changed. I mean, it made me want to play guitar, right? Because, I've always been into Rage and stuff like that. But, the rap, I like it, but I like a little bit of singing too,
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like Audioslave is very heavy to light too as well, right?
Yeah.
And the guitar is just amazing on that first album, and I said, I think I can do some of that, and kind of dabbled in it, and Audioslave has a lot to do with my guitar playing, what drove me into it.
Yeah. That's what's bumping in my car right now.
Yeah.
First album. And you know what? I did want to address this, that I am sick of people being down on Audioslave.
Who's down on Audioslave?
You've never met these people?
Well, yeah, I've heard people. Actually, a lot of one of the guys I went to the first concert with, he didn't like any of my music. He couldn't stand it. He hated Rage. He hated Soundgarden, and he heard Audioslave, and he was like, "That's the coolest shit I've ever heard.
That turned him around.
Yeah, this guy Jason Bailey from Leamington, an old friend of mine. And
Yeah.
it was just like, yeah, and I've actually, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that they suck. I've heard people say, "Oh, I prefer Rage" or "I prefer Soundgarden," but no, I've never heard anyone down. Well,
who doesn't, right?
Yeah, well, who's down on Audioslave? Who's this?
I've heard.
Oh,
no, but I know people, and then I've heard just like they can be picked apart by. What I've gathered is mostly like Rage fans.
How can you pick it apart? I mean, I could see one thing with Audioslave, and as I've gotten older and revisited the songs, and I've realized that it's kind of religious, you know. Like, and at the time, I didn't care about lyrics and stuff. I just like the hard hitting music and the screaming, right, and the cool, singing. But yeah, I could see how some people would be turned off a little bit of that. That's the only thing I could see wrong that you could pick apart with that band.
The argument was sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I prefer Audioslave to. Like,
there we go.
To either.
I like Soundgarden, but I've never been a huge fan. But yeah.
There we go.
Same with Rage. Like I like Rage, but I don't know it as well.
Yeah.
Audioslave I know the best out of the three.
Well, I find that it's people that kind of gravitate towards Rage more than Soundgarden that are just like, oh, it's shit, and like their argument is, oh, it's not Rage. Well, no shit.
Yeah, they're not trying to do that.
Yeah, like, but I think his voice goes so perfectly with their sound.
Oh, it's so. When I first heard they were jamming together, I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of like I was. I'll be honest, I did not think it would work. I was like, how is this going to work out? But who knew that they're going to play ballads?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And like
I Am the Highway.
Yeah, and like rock and roll riffs.
Yeah.
That's built for him to sing around,
Yeah.
So.
They have that great classic rock sound that you don't really realize because most of the time you have someone who's rapping over it.
Yeah.
There's never like proper like melodies or like singing like or anything over it. And then once you heard it, it's like, yeah, this makes sense.
It makes you wonder, what he could have done with what Chris could have done with some of the earlier Rage tracks. You know what I mean? Rather than rapping over top of it, it would have been interesting.
Oh, like putting vocals. Like,
if he would have been, if they would have brought that music to him and stuff like that.
Well, it's funny that you say that because like as I was listening to the first Audioslave today and kind of like
the opposite.
I did the opposite. yeah, because like it was just like, what would this be like as a Rage song?
Cochise rapping over I could see that.
Because you got to think that it was only like a few years after they broke up, Rage.
Oh yeah.
So who knows if some of those riffs, which are like Tom Morello riffs, are very similar to each other, but he makes them their own thing at the same time. Somehow he does that.
Oh yeah.
But you got to think that like there's 14 tracks on that first album that at least one of those might have been a Rage song.
Oh, I'd say 3 or 4 for sure.
But they had a whole other band before Audioslave. They had Civilian. Do you remember that?
No, who's this?
The same band, Chris Cornell with those 3 guys.
And they called it Civilian.
Civilian was their first name, but it was just like word of mouth that was going on the radio.
Oh.
And then they said that they scrapped. They wrote an entire album, scrapped it because they wrote what was the first Audioslave. They changed their name, and the rest is history.
Nice.
They had there's a whole other album floating out there somewhere.
Really?
Look for Civilian.
Is that? Do you know the songs off of it?
Civilian?
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Okay.
I've never really. Well, now that we're talking about it now, I might look for it. But back in the day, it was just like, it's floating around there somewhere.
Got the Whip, got the Better Bomb. That one song. You ever heard that? Honestly,
that might be it.
That might be on there. We found this song a while ago. It's Audioslave, and he's like, I got the Whip, I got the Better Bomb. That must be. Maybe that's why. Because it's not on any albums. Yeah. And I couldn't find if it was on a B side of a single or but yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty wild. It's gonna be interesting, and hopefully, there's gonna be some Cornell stuff that comes out. You know what I mean? Like that he's got in a vault. Like there's got to be some.
Like Prince.
Apparently, Prince has got the
Prince has like 30 years worth of like shit
I
in the vault or
heard.
something.
He's like Apple.
It's like Tupac.
Steve Jobs of Apple. He just had him 30 years ahead before he died.
What Rage song did you guys do? Don't tell me.
No, I can't.
Born of a Broken Man.
Yeah, that's it.
Was there another one or was that it?
No, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
You guys did that in London when we played with you.
Yeah, with Ball 220.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun song to play. It's a fun song to play.
Like, I can't remember what part it is. Like, I'd have to really think about it. But, like, I actually stood up just to do, like, the air drum part to it.
The bridge
like,
part.
Oh,
The jam part's pretty awesome in it.
was it the build-up, maybe?
Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know.
I know.
Our drummer, Robbie, he's pretty good. He played it pretty tight. It was,
You guys were all pretty solid.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And, of course, we're talking about Bullet Tooth Tony.
Yes.
So we're actually gonna hear a little Bullet Tooth Tony right now, and
Nice.
then we'll get it into a little bit more of them after this. This is a song called Shit Show.
Never letting a thing go, but only letting
Where did we meet?
I think Drown the Noise you're talking about.
Drown the Noise?
Yeah. Played a show with
We've
your band Help.
We've played 2 or 3 shows together.
Yes.
It
I
feels
believe
like
so.
it feels like you guys helped us out. No pun intended. You've helped us. You've helped us out quite a few times.
That was a trick. You actually were helping us out.
Oh well, it is.
Well, I know we played the Fog. I always
Fog,
remember
yeah.
every Fog show.
Yeah.
There, I don't know. Just something about that place. I do like playing there, and it sounds good for a little venue. But I remember you guys played
Beer
there.
Exchange.
Beer Exchange.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. Upstairs. Yeah. Okay.
I've never
nice.
played downstairs.
Oh, the floor was moving. Remember?
Yes.
The floor started
Were
moving.
you the one that shifted it back over?
Yeah, me and Dave, the drummer. Yeah, because the floor is divided upstairs, and you're always stomp your feet like crazy.
I'm a
when
stomper.
it's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm a stomper.
No, it's cool as hell.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I think you were actually like, facing your drummer too. You were like cocked to the side, and
Yeah.
you were like on your own island.
Yeah.
And it was separating. It was
Yeah.
okay, except for I think some of your equipment was on the one island. And
There's a pedal or two.
Yeah.
I think my channel changer was on the island, but it was like the final scene of Ghostbusters when the roads start opening up. It's like one leg's on one side and the other one's on the other side. Like, yeah, you did me a solid. You brought the land back together.
I remember Dave saying, "Let's go help him out."
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
But before Drown the Noise and Help played, Bullet Tooth Tony and my old band Planet World played a show together at the Blind Dog. Mm-hmm. Would it be the Blind Dog at the time?
Yes. And it wasn't like the full Blind Dog, right? Because we're not in big bands or nothing.
No,
like
it was
that,
the
right?
middle. It was the middle of the bar, facing the big stage. Look it. See that stage? Yeah. You can't play on that stage.
One day.
You play on this stage.
Yeah.
But we're gonna make you look at it.
If you were big, that's where all the people would sit and watch you play.
Yes. Yeah. It was like a miniature Harpos,
Yeah.
and we were playing in the bar area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun though.
I hadn't seen you that night though. I think you were one of the later bands, but nothing personal to any bands that we play with. I think we might have felt jerked around by the people that work there. So we were just like, after we were done, we were just like, oh fuck this. So we just
I
left.
think it was shady.
We just left.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because there was you guys, and there was No Clue. I don't know, you know Dean from EVL?
Yes. Oh yeah.
His band with
Yeah.
Chris Wilbur was No Clue.
Because I posted a picture up and he commented. He's like, I was there that night. I was like, what were you doing? He's like, I was in No Clue. I didn't even remember he was there. Yeah, but
I didn't see their band
Good guy,
again.
though. Yeah.
Again, because like I don't know if we were the first band or the second band, but
you were. I think you were like the second band. Okay, so
it was really snowy. It was
Mm-hmm.
freakishly snowy that night.
your bass player, he wore a hockey jersey.
Yeah, the Frenchman.
Yes. Okay. I watched your whole set. By the way, I stuck around for your set.
Okay.
But I remember him because he was very energetic.
Yeah.
And you guys were good. I remember you were the singer and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
we're okay.
Yeah. No, it was good.
We're
It was
okay.
good. We weren't. We felt. It was good for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
We felt a little pressure getting on stage after. Yeah.
Well,
for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I doubt that, but
No, we did for sure.
but years later, no, it wasn't even then because you guys played a show with Bleach that I was at the Blind Dog. So that's when I saw you.
Oh, okay.
And then it wasn't until years later that, oh boy, we played a show. Well, this was after I met you through Drown the Noise, and then Bullet Tooth was playing
Well, I just thought the help would go really good.
Villains. I called it Venue earlier. No, Villains.
Yeah.
We played.
Yeah, I was wondering. I said, Venue, what's he talking
Definitely
about?
didn't play Venue.
No.
It was the V.
No, I've never played Venue.
It was big V.
it was the V. It was the V.
Four
one.
shoppers struggling.
Yeah, what was that? Villains. Two of us. Then, oh god, Arcanum.
Oh yeah. That was a good show too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was Bolt to Tony's like comeback show after we revamped the band, and we got Robbie and Darren and Charlie. Yeah, that was a good show. Yeah, Arcanum killed it.
Yeah, of course.
they're always awesome to
Of
play
course.
with, man.
Yeah, of course.
We played with them the other night, the Rapscallions, and
They make you feel small, eh? Like,
yeah,
oh,
but you know
fuck
what? They're
me.
such nice guys,
Yeah.
and you know, I mean, like they're not cocky at all. Yeah, they
No,
do. They do
should
make you
be.
feel small.
They
though,
should
yeah.
be. They should be cocky.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
You know?
yeah. They actually are not telling people this, but they have a singer, and he only sings.
Hold on. Should you be telling?
Yeah,
us this?
maybe not. Yeah. Well, I'm talking about them. They should be
Okay.
happy with
If
it.
you want me to cut this out, I will. Just
No,
so-
no, no.
so-
Yeah, I guess I'll ask Jesse. But
I'll reverse this. That'll
but
just like,
oh my God.
God.
it is so good.
Yeah.
Like he's got this Incubus sound
Yeah.
or something, and I never thought you could be able to find a singer that really sink in with that man, because you've heard it, eh?
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
complicated and but it's good.
Well, I told Jesse you don't need a singer.
Yeah, no, they didn't, and that's why we kind of felt like, well, do they really need one? And and they tried out guys and talked to people, and I don't think anything really panned out. And then I saw this guy. They opened up for us, which was Jesus. That's not. They open up for Rapscallions.
Yeah.
They're just it's hard having a band like that open up for it. And then they come out with this singer, and they just killed it.
Oh, they played.
Yeah,
They've
with
already
this-
played with him.
Yeah, and he
Okay.
only did I think he only did 4 or 5 songs.
Well, you can talk about it then.
Yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I told him, I was like, that's what you guys should do. Keep going with that. They're like, really? I'm like, what? You don't see it?
Well,
Everyone,
yeah.
it was amazing. It
Well,
was
yeah, if
really
the
good.
singer works, then great.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna reach a wider audience now.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, after that show, you're talking about with Bolt to Tony, we played at Villains, and then where was the second one?
Richmond.
Yes.
Was there another? No, there's just two, I think.
Yeah.
There's just two.
You guys, I caught you as you guys were slowing down a bit, right?
What's that?
Well, Help was more slowing down when Bolt to Tony was getting rolling at the time.
Yeah.
Remember, because I talked to you after the Richmond. I was like, well, let's do
Oh,
something.
yeah,
and you
oh,
were
yeah,
like,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
No,
You know,
okay,
we don't
yeah.
play that much, you know.
Well, yeah, because we were unsure. We
Yeah.
were unsure what, like, we didn't know how long we had Taylor for.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just became, well, you know what? Let's concentrate on finally writing stuff because
Yeah.
it's been so long, and like the stuff that we're playing. I mean, the stuff that we're playing is like 12 years old anyway.
Yeah.
So like,
It's so nice to sit back and revamp everything.
But but at the same time, it's just like, okay, let's start like working on new stuff, and we have like, and we're getting better at like coming out with new stuff now because we're getting sick of playing the old stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about me.
That's all right.
This is about you.
Well, we're talking about the Rich shows, so it's both of us, right?
Yeah. But let's go to the beginning. When did Bullet Tooth start?
Oh, I don't know. I was probably like 8 or 9 years ago. I was in a band, and I've been in bands my whole life, and I wanted a band where it was kind of like, if people quit on you and stuff like that, or it just falls apart, doesn't work out, it's done. You put all this work into it, all these practices and years of stuff, and it's just for
Hey.
nothing, right?
Hey.
Cheers. So Bullet to Tony was kind of like my deal, where I was going to come out and do the writing and be the singer. No matter how bad the singing was going to be, it was going to be mine in a way.
Was
where-
this your first step into like a lead singing role?
No, when I was
Okay.
16, I felt the same way.
Okay.
And I
okay.
grabbed, but joke was on me. They kicked me out.
Yeah.
I had this band called Youth Group,
Yeah.
where I played bass and sang. I was like 16 or whatever. So they ended up asking me to leave. So it didn't work out too well. But anyway, so with Bolt to Tony, that was the deal, was that kind of like, and my style of music. I want it to be really, like a little edgy, heavy, not metal, but with a little bit attitude, in your face stuff.
Yeah.
So
I dig.
and a little versatile, too.
Yeah.
At the same time, I got a little bit of punk influence, but yeah.
So you're the only original member.
Yes.
So this is your baby.
Yes, for sure.
This is your help.
Yes. yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. We've had, at the beginning, I started the band with my best friend at the time, Dan Vokes, and he's an original member, and he had a lot to do with the band taking off in the early years. And,
Yeah.
I can definitely credit him to what he's, a big part of Bolt to Tony in the beginning, getting recognized and playing a lot of shows. And,
Yeah.
So.
And then was there a break in the band?
There's been a few breaks.
Yeah.
Up and down.
Yeah.
But, when he left, there was a bit of a break and transition kind of, phase where it wasn't going too well. We grabbed a bass player, a good guy, James Keller and all that. We were doing a little too many covers and stuff like that. Really weren't staying with what, well, at the time, I just wanted to keep jamming.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to keep rolling.
Oh, yeah.
So then after that, he kind of left and we parted ways. And then my drummer, Arlie, I don't know, do you know Arlie? Remember Arlie?
No.
Big muscle guy. He ended up leaving the band too, and that kind of sucked the wind out of everything. I kind of lost.
When the drummer leaves,
Yeah, and he was my man for like 3-4 years,
Yeah.
and actually before that, Dave Eikonoff, Drown the Noise's drummer.
Yeah.
That was he was Bolt to Tony's drummer for like 3 years before Arlie. So just been a few members, definitely throughout the years.
I hear you.
But at one point, so I was kind of, Drown the Noise was taking off. Rapscallions were doing good. And at one point, I remember on Squirrel Fest, I was going to kind of give up on Bolt to Tony. And then Robbie Vargas, who has never really played with original bands, I think he played with Destroyer a little bit.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Really?
there's a picture. Oh, yeah. I think he was a kitty cat. But yeah, oh, yeah. Oh,
That's cool.
Oh, Robbie's a pro.
Yeah.
And he was a super nice guy, came right up to me at the Squirrel Fest, and we had a little drink and talk, and he told me, if you ever need anyone for your bands, I like your style and the way you write, I like to jam with you. So as soon as I left, I gave him a shout, and Bolt to Tony was flying right away.
Was this recently?
No, this was about a year and a half ago.
Well, fairly recently.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you guys have only been back up and running.
Yeah,
for about this long.
a year and a half, 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Darren from Gypsy Chief Goliath got a hold of me through an ad, which was crazy. He's an awesome bass player from an incredible band.
Monster.
It was so flattering. I was like, nervous to jam with him. He's a good guy though. He's fun. He's just like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really fun, and it was really nice because the first time we jammed, it was just me, Robbie, and Darren, and we'd never jammed together, or been in a room together, or hung out together.
Yeah.
And they learned the songs, and we all showed up and jammed, and it was like it was nice. It
felt good.
Oh yeah, it was really cool. And then later on, we ended up adding Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and rolling. And Charlie ended up leaving the band recently, I guess a couple months ago. Had a baby, and he's got another project going. So,
were you guys doing a lot of like touring, a lot of shows?
No. Well, yeah, we were playing. Actually, we were playing Rockstar a lot.
Yeah.
We seemed to be opening up for like Love Razor, like with Charlie and Darren and Robbie. Yeah, we're doing a lot of that. And I think it was kind of a clash a little bit, not a shot to anyone except for us. We probably shouldn't have been playing the shows because really our style was, it was heavy and it was getting heavier.
It's like hair metal.
Yeah,
Is
the
that
Love
what
Razor,
yeah.
yeah. And they're all. And I remember playing Rockstar. It's a great place to play, and the guy's David Michael's super cool, and it's one of my favorite places I played for sure. And but I remember playing, and he kind of hinted, maybe we should do some covers. I'm like, well, we like the original stuff, and I remember someone in between songs saying they should do an Aerosmith song, or something like that, or just so. But it was good. I think we're a decent band, so they kind of overlooked that we didn't play big hits,
Yeah.
But yeah. So we didn't do any tours or any big shows or stuff like that. Like,
where are you guys based from? Where are you guys? Are you based in Windsor?
Sure. Darren is.
Shades
Yeah,
of
we're
gray.
all over the place. Right now we're
jam
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's where you're based. Where is your rehearsal space?
Leamington.
There you go.
Yeah,
You're a Leamington band.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's the rules.
So after Charlie left, now where you guys stand? Like, what's the fate of BTT?
Well, we're taking some time off for the summer.
Yeah.
We recorded Shit Show, which we just heard, right? We have I think we got a ton of new material and stuff, right, that we haven't played in front of people, and we're probably gonna get back together at the end of the summer, put it together. It'll come back together, and I'll be releasing at least one more album with that band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking for another guitarist?
Why are you interested?
Do you want to put an ad out right now?
An ad?
Oh, do you want me to play guitar?
Yeah, why don't you come play?
This is crazy because usually whoever's on, I try to start a band with them. It's never been the other way around.
Oh, wait. Actually, we were waiting for you to answer the ad. I was like, we should get someone like Steve.
You have an ad?
Well, yeah, we had one up. Yeah, we've advertised it on Facebook a little bit, but no one really answered. So,
right.
Well, a couple of people did. I think we scare them away with our dedication. Can
Yeah.
you show up once a week and the drive
No.
to Leamington? Yeah, no.
How about half a week?
No. Come on out and jam sometime. Be awesome.
Yeah,
man.
I'll mull it over.
Yeah,
you're putting me on the spot. Wow, this is how people feel when I try to start a band with them. All right.
Well, it'll and we won't be doing it for till August-ish, something like that. So
All right.
lots of time to mull it over, man.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
All right. I'm blushing now. So when did the next venture start? The Rapscallions.
Oh, about 2 years ago. I'm a painter, right? So not a lot of work around here for a painter, like year round at times, especially when I was living in small towns and stuff. So I went up to London for work, and Alex, he plays with Starbucket. It's a pretty cool punk band in London, and we're just buddies. We've played shows together for I think 9 or 10 years with bands before BTT and stuff like that, and so we set up, I'd go over to his house and hang out and stuff. We started talking. We should jam. He's a twin brother who's our drummer, Kyle. And, so it's easy. Well, let's just start a band. All you need is a bass player. We got your brother.
Yeah.
And eventually we did it. And took us about a year to put it together because of travel and all that. We didn't really put a lot of effort toward. We didn't think it would go as well as it has, honestly. We knew it'd be good and fun, but we didn't think people would like it.
Yeah.
Because we're like you. We're like riff rockers. We're do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like dude rock.
No,
you know what I mean?
Is that what we are?
Yeah. Well, I guess when we were going to Soundgarden.
Kale, is that what I am?
That's what I've always thought. That's what I tell people.
Drew, are you coining this now or?
Well, Alex was the one that said it. We were talking about Soundgarden.
Yeah.
I actually had to talk Alex and Katie into going to Alex being from the Rapscallions and his wife.
Yeah.
Talked them into going to the concert because they're like, oh no. And I was like, why? Like, well, we're going on vacation in a week and we're trying to be adults. And I'm like, no, this is
not. Don't
trust
be an
me.
adult, yeah.
I sold them on, and this is kind of weird to say, but I sold them on Cornell is too. He's going to be too old. The band will be too old if we see him again. Do you know what I mean? I was like, they'll be like the Rolling Stones. Now's the time to see him. You know, you don't want to see him old, right?
You did this whole speech like in a movie. There'd be like some like patriotic like music like building up in the background.
I gave him the speech like 10 times. I offered to pay for their tickets.
Oh my god!
Because I just wanted someone to go with me who would, you know, I wanted him to go. I just knew it would be good. You know,
something was telling you.
No, nothing was telling. I just wanted him to go.
Sounded like something was telling you.
Okay. Funny, eh?
Yeah.
And the whole
now I'm sad again. This is why I wanted to get
PTT talk made you sad.
No, it's Cornell talk. Now like I wanted to get him out of the way, and now I'm sad again.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up again.
You know what's gonna bring me back up though? The very first Rapscallions song.
Oh, nice.
Which we're gonna play right now, and then we'll touch more on that band when we come back. This is the Rapscallions with Angry Sun.
How was the show with the other drummer?
Amazing. They play with 9 Inch Nails.
Oh my!
Great show.
So drumming was comparable, better, not better, but
Good.
better.
Good. Like he did, and he drums like this. Eh? He drums.
Yeah, he's
that
got
style.
independent. I think it's called.
Is that what you call it?
No, it's not independent. I forget what it's called.
The listeners can't see my hand do this,
Yeah.
but like it's just like like old timey, like like jazz.
You're holding
drumming.
like a
I don't know.
chopstick. We're not
There you
drummers,
go.
right?
Like
But
it's
you're
almost
holding
like
the drums
underhand,
like a
right?
chopstick.
It's underhand, underhandy. Yeah.
Underhandy.
Yeah.
Old fashioned.
Listeners, look up Matt Chamberlain, and then you'll see. No, but like the Soundgarden beats with his drum style. Like, how do you play that hard like that?
And it was there.
Yeah, they pulled it out. It was a great show.
Wow.
That was
He must have been with Pearl Jam then, eh? Matt Cameron.
Matt Cameron was touring with Pearl Jam at the time. I don't remember.
What a
where.
life that
Maybe
guy has.
I know, right?
Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
2 of the biggest bands, like
Two of the greatest singers of all time.
Up until a couple weeks ago, simultaneously, and
Back playing all the time too. Yeah, it's crazy.
and like that was the teaser with, like what Pearl Jam and Soundgarden never toured together. But
I know that's one of the things we talked about too. Is that you were not going to see the Temple of the Dog thing. They won't write new songs. That's such a bummer.
yeah. Well, and what I was talking to Brigham about in the intro is that, like, it almost seemed like he was like tying up loose ends. Like, how long had he been planning this? Because like he goes on tour with Temple of the Dog, he gets back together with Audio Slave for that anti-inauguration thing.
Oh, I never thought that's true. And he was, I have him on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And he's jumping back and forth from his solo to his Soundgarden. And he was saying, like, it always keeps it fresh. I go from one project to the next. It's such a difference in music and style and blah, blah, blah. And it always keeps things fresh.
Yeah.
So he seemed like he was getting bored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like trying to get some excitement into his life by doing that. But
Yeah. But anyway, the Raps.
I don't mean to be a downer.
Now I'm sad again. So let's bring it back up. The Rapscallions. Were you talking earlier about how you guys formed?
Yeah. I was saying just because remember I was working in London and all that, so working in London and my buddy Alex lived up there. He's got his twin brother who's a drummer, so it just seemed to.
Are they all from London?
Yeah, everyone's from London but me. Yeah,
You guys jam in London?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, mostly. Yeah, we here and there we rent spaces, jam at Alex's sometimes, and the odd time they'll drive down to Windsor or Chatham area if I can find somewhere to rent. But we don't have a lot of rent.
No.
Jam spots to rent. Beer Exchange will do
Is
the
Jam
upstairs.
Space still open?
I don't think so.
I never jammed there myself.
It was
but-
expensive.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about. Yeah, it was a little expensive.
Have you been by the old Peabody building, the Walker Power Plant, the old jam space?
No, not lately.
It's all like they're changing it into something, but it's all like gutted right now. It's just like the kind of almost not quite skeleton of it, but
Yeah.
the windows are all gone, and you can
Really?
see all the support pillars and stuff. in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I did think I heard that.
forget exactly what they're
Someone
doing.
bought
I think clichély there's going to be a Starbucks in the main floor.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's about all I
There'll be an
remember.
ATM in the lobby.
Yeah.
Did you ever? Any of your bands ever jam there? The Peabody Building on Riverside,
No.
covered in vines.
No.
that building.
The top floor, like however many rooms there were, predominantly like there's all bands. Like
nice.
each room up there, like they're all. It was kind of a lofty kind of.
Yeah, it was a really cool environment, like kind of sketchy and gross at the same time.
Cool and sketchy.
My very
like
first.
I said earlier, the bathroom there was just like communal
The Fight
bathroom,
Club
Club
bathroom.
bathroom.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It's a very
It's
Fight
exactly
Club
what it-
building.
it's exactly what it
It's very
sounds
Fight
like,
Club
yeah.
building.
Okay, I got a good picture.
Yeah. Just brown water comes out, and
But my first band jam there, and like we've known a couple people that have had rooms up there.
You've had like 2 separate rooms, but in Jim.
Yeah.
Jim had
well, I
the
just
other
had the
one.
one with
Yeah.
Paul Taylor. It wasn't Pitch Union at the time.
That room was sweet. It was the small one, but
Pitch
it was,
Union?
It was really
Yeah, I
cool.
know. Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
at the time, it was Paradigm Shift still. That was their name.
Oh, okay.
This-
Good guys. I just played a show with them.
Pitch Union?
Yeah, Arcanum's CD release. It was Rapscallions and Pitch Union. They're good.
That would have been a
Really
good show.
good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was one of the best shows I've played.
Yeah.
It was packed. We Arcanum. They packed the Rondo. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was good.
I still haven't been there.
Oh, big venue, man. Big
Yeah.
venue. Yeah, you gotta You got to not play a couple of shows for a couple months and build up the crowd to play there. you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was just gonna comment how like it was all bands, but one room was a fight club.
No, was it?
Really?
Yeah. Like
I
I
vaguely
Were you
remember
in
that
it?
now that you say
No.
that. I vaguely remember that now that you say that. I don't know if that was true or not.
I've been in.
Was that
two-
just like
I-
a myth?
They just said
No, for real. It was
Yeah.
a fight club because like there were like I don't know flyers on the
things
walls or whatever. They talked about it, so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're in their fight club, the rules were different.
Right.
They
Can
talked-
you go to Can you go to Fight Club and just watch?
No, because
if
in
it's
the
your first
movie,
night at Fight Club,
Yeah.
you have to fight.
Oh yeah, was that that's one of the rules? Yeah, that's right. Too. And you can't talk about it or something.
no, and we're talking
Yeah.
about it
Yeah.
right now.
Well, we're not going to it.
No. Well, let's not talk
I'm
about Fight
not.
Club. Let's talk about the Rapscallions. So, are you guys Rapscallions? Are you guys in the process of recording? Are you playing shows? What are you guys doing? Are you?
Well, we're just finishing up a bunch of shows and stuff like that, and yeah, basically getting into finishing up the album. We just released a 4-song EP like 6 months ago or something like that, and so we're gonna head back into the Sound Foundry with Brett and finish her up. We're gonna do a couple covers, which is gonna be cool. We're gonna do some Fu Manchu. I don't know if you know Fu Manchu.
I know of them.
Yeah, we're gonna do Hell on Wheels, one of their bigger hits.
Should I get into them?
Yes, you will like it.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got the guitar sound that we get off on for sure.
All right.
And then we got Queens of Stone Age. We're gonna do Song for the Dead.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. I've never done covers in the studio, so it's gonna be awesome.
Oh,
But yeah. So
really?
we're gonna finish that up and put the whole album together, and then plan a big CD release show and do a London one and a Windsor one, and go from there. We're planning a tour. Don't know exactly 100% what's going on with it or how it's going down yet. You know, it's in the works, but it's
It's on
definitely
the horizon.
yeah, it's happening. It's
Yeah.
one way or another, it's happening. So we're looking at it in July. I think we're gonna do it with Charlie, the old guitarist from Bolsey Tony. Ignore the Evidence. We're gonna do a tour with them. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening. We're just, and I'm sure there's gonna be shows come up soon. We're just kind of at a standstill because we're heading in the studio and we're focusing on that. And then we're gonna come out blazing. Though we'll be playing a lot of shows and stuff.
Okay.
And we'll take all comers, any offers, and do her up, play as much as we can for sure.
Okay. So we're gonna play the next song, but before we play the next song, I demanded an explanation to the title of the song. Do you want to introduce the song and then give it a little backstory?
I think we should talk about it after. It's long. It's,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
I'll introduce it.
Okay, I like that.
I was
like
just gonna
that.
say maybe it's a better explanation after you hear this.
After the song.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You'll never guess what it's about.
Okay, so we're gonna give the listeners the title of the song, and then we're gonna get into the song.
Okay.
So this is the Rapscallions saying goodbye to Cobra Commander.
Needed time to get away. I could no longer pass by the graves. Time wasn't enough for me to say that we could be friends at the end of the day. No, Said I wasn't a man 'cause I couldn't say goodbye. Couldn't look the kid in the face and lie. Maybe it's better he don't know the path his life was about to go. No, 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 no.
hard to explain, but kind of funny at the same time.
We've got
So
time.
it's obviously saying goodbye to someone. It's not Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe and all that stuff.
Okay, because you've already misled me on that one.
Right.
It sounds like you're saying goodbye to Cobra Commander.
Right.
Okay.
And I knew everyone would think that and kind of think it was okay, right? Accept it. But it's actually saying goodbye to someone, and only that person knows I'm saying goodbye to them and someone else. Someone who gave them the nickname.
Okay, so you're not going to tell us those people.
No.
So we might as well just think it's about Cobra Commander.
No, well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just say someone was working on a job site, and they ruined a bathroom. The toilet overflowed.
Okay.
So that person got the nickname the Cobra.
Okay.
Because there's a cobra left.
I got.
Okay. So we called this person Cobra Commander,
Okay.
and they just hated the nickname. Obviously, it was very embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I just thought it would be this with the situation with the person, a fitting way to say goodbye to them, and only they knew it.
But the people on the outside, like myself,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of a cool nickname.
Yeah, I thought it worked right.
Someone,
Like,
someone
You didn't know
called
what
me.
it meant.
I wanted to say goodbye to someone without saying their name,
Right.
and only them knowing it, and it was like a way of doing it.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Have they passed or?
Oh no. Past relationship,
Okay.
friendship. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and they know it, and they were totally cool with it.
Okay. I kind of want to know that person because you're still leaving us in the dark, but I won't pry too much.
No. I would never say who.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we go back to the show that we played at the Richmond in London together?
For sure.
Okay. And you're smiling right now because you know what I'm what I'm getting into. There's this woman there that you might know more than I do if she was a regular or not. But Richmond seem to have their regulars.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
This woman was loving life,
Mm-hmm.
and then she went a little too over the
I remember
edge.
if you remember too, all the other regulars. The
Yes,
men
I do.
Were loving her.
They were talking to us as we were playing,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
which was great because
Yeah.
I never really had a crowd interaction like
But
that.
they
before.
all
I'm like,
liked-
London is great.
But they all liked the woman you were talking about like crazy. They were
Like-
all hanging all over her.
Liked,
Oh, they liked her.
like shame.
Well,
shame,
you seen her dance moves. How could you not?
She's very sexy woman. I don't know what. I think she was kind of in her own way moshing when we were playing. I think.
Yeah,
I
she
think-
was. Yeah.
I think she was one of the people that were like standing right beside me, asking me questions in between songs. I'm like, I gotta do something. Like,
While
I
you're
gotta,
playing.
I gotta go.
I don't know if
okay?
you noticed, but I'm kind of busy.
But once Bullet Tooth Tony was on stage, and we in the Help family got to sit back at our table and enjoy the show. In front of the show, she was. The only thing I can equate it to is a wayward, one of those wacky waving, inflatable arm flailing tube men. She's just
She's in
sometimes.
front of a car dealership.
Sometimes she was up, and like most times she was just like, "What is she like?"
When I saw her, she was passed right out on her feet.
On her feet, but
So
her
she was
head,
bent over,
like a deflated.
Kale, it was
wacky
like
waving
this.
her
inflatable
legs
arm
were
flailing
straight.
tube man.
Yeah, like that,
Yeah.
legs straight
Yeah.
and head down and arms straight down. It was,
Like a
it was
half-
She was
impressive.
like
half
she was
inflated.
like that for like a minute.
And I don't know, and a lot of people probably, haven't heard Bullet Tooth Tony, but we're loud.
Yeah.
And she was standing right in front of us, passed out, and we were just ripping it right in front. And we were all, we got such a kick out of it. I've never seen anything like that.
About 33% of her underwear protruding from her pants,
Just making a getaway.
and eventually maybe
Someone saved her.
a couple gentlemen
Yeah.
callers where they helped her up and they walked her off.
Bill
And,
Cosby showed up to take care of her.
but I mean,
You can edit that out, right?
no, that's staying in.
Yeah, well,
we
that's-
we got a reaction from our
That's
audience
the-
back there.
that's the
So
biggest keeper
that's,
right there.
That's staying in.
Yeah.
I mean, I was enjoying you guys. You guys
Yeah.
were great. You guys are great. You're solid. You're a solid band. But
Yeah,
she kind of upstaged you.
Yeah,
at
I
that-
know. I was
in
just gonna
that
say it's
moment.
funny the things that will upstage you like so quickly. Yeah.
Like, lady, you're killing us. Like, but again, like you were talking to me on the porch earlier about bringing this up, and I was surprised because I was telling you, like, dude, you play the Richmond so much. Like, I thought that this was just like,
Yeah.
like run of the mill.
She's there every day.
Yeah, I thought this was just Betty, just like.
No. You know, and the thing about the Richmond, it's a little rough around the edges. But
It's
you know
colorful. Let's
yeah.
call it colorful.
Yeah, it's colorful for sure.
It's different.
But everyone,
Okay,
you know,
that's
I've
the
never had an issue with anyone there.
Yeah.
You know, no confrontations. I don't think I've ever seen a fight in that bar.
Yeah.
And I've spent a bit of time in there.
Very
So,
colorful characters.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like I never got a bad vibe from it.
No.
I'm just like, well, this is different. We're not in Windsor
Yeah.
right now, so let's enjoy this.
No, it was fun. It was a good night.
It was.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sitcom.
What's that?
The Richmond.
The rich. Yeah, it will be.
Hey, there we go. We can make
Yeah.
a show out of it right
No
there.
prostitutes allowed upstairs
Don't do
anymore.
Anymore. Yeah.
Jim.
No hard.
The more the sign goes down, it just gets more specific. Jim
You know.
Thompson, Chryslers.
June 26th, 2001.
You know, Jim. Yeah, that's a good memory. That was a good memory. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that moment sticks out to you.
No, I'll always-
because of the colorful characters.
It's funny, the shows you remember, like some I just totally forget, and you know, they're just blah nights or nothing exciting. And not that they weren't exciting or good nights, but it's those things that it's funny. It's not the music part that
Yeah.
makes you, because you play same songs every night,
Yeah.
pretty much, right? You new one here and there, but
Yeah.
it's those things that make it kind of memorable. It's kind of funny.
Well, I don't know how much touring you've done in your lifetime, but I know that you did go on tour because we were picking your brains at Fog one night. Like you, Drown the Noise went on tour,
Oh yeah, we did it like a week and a half. It
and
was-
that woman at Richmond still sticks out to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, there's some stories from the tour, but nothing too bad. Some stuff I don't talk about. But
Okay, you can. We'll just reverse all your voice as
No,
it'll just
no,
be like,
nothing, no.
Pretty easy to unscramble.
No, there was nothing.
I'll reverse it twice.
Honestly, nothing has ever stuck out to me at a show because this woman at the Richmond was dancing, and then all of a sudden she just lost it.
Well, because the wind.
With the wind. But then she was sleeping, bent over,
She was.
standing up
She
with her
was
legs
sleeping.
straight.
Yeah,
It was impressive.
yeah.
She's part
But,
horse.
so yeah, and I played a lot of shows. Like I played in Montreal on the tour and all this and that. And I
That's
saw,
what I mean. Like places like Montreal, like
we played in Montreal, and I can say this: we played in Montreal with this band, and the guy had the worst BO. I was sick that night. I was enjoying the tour a little too much.
yeah.
So the manager had everything set up for me, so I just walked in and played that night because I was very under the weather.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
on-
rock star right
Yeah,
there.
I know.
That is rock star.
I thank God for the manager and stuff because if it wasn't for him, I don't know, I wouldn't have made it to the show.
Yeah.
So I got to walk out of the hotel or the hostel we're staying in, and I walked down the show, and I walked in the door, and it just hit me like a ton of BO, like a ton of bricks. And I was like, oh, my Lord, what is this? And they said, it's a guy on stage. Like, everyone in the band was at the door because they were looking for fresh air or something, you know.
Were you on stage?
No, I just walked in. This is a show I was sick for, right? Like, so
Oh.
I walked in just before we go on. I couldn't even show up for the bands because I was
Yeah,
so sick.
I didn't really put that into account, so that's got to be even worse.
Yeah.
Can we say hungover? Is it? Can we say that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. An accumulation
Yeah, oh,
of
yeah.
hangovers on hangovers, I guess. But
Yeah.
so the one I was pretty rough. And,
So now you're faced with this funk,
oh, it was
Grand Funk Railroad
amazing.
on stage.
It was almost
You
impressive.
opened
Like,
for Grand Funk. Railroad?
In a way.
never seen it before, though.
Yeah.
Never seen that. Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
so what did you do?
I just plugged my nose. I remember walking to the back, going to the bathroom, and it was quite a distance from the stage, and you could still smell it, like in the bathroom, like stink. And I remember people talking about it in the bathroom, and me walking back out. And then we went on stage and played, and he still stuck around. And of course, he comes up to me after we play to tell me he liked what I did. And I, yeah, whatever, man.
Let me give you a hug.
yeah,
Come here.
yeah,
Let me
hug,
give you
yeah.
a high arm hug.
Was he French? Safe to say.
I won't say what he was. I don't know what he was. I
Well,
have
I'm gonna
no
say that.
idea.
I'm gonna say that he's French. Like, come here, mes amis.
He had no sleeves on.
He gave you some
his the pits were bare.
That's crazy because I was picturing a wife beater. Anyway.
No, pits were bare. They were like
I was just picturing a stained shirt.
no.
You know the
picture
cla-
a stained what is it? A blue jean jacket cut off at the sleeves. Right. They had like the group jacket type of deal. You know what I mean?
That's not what I'm picturing anymore.
Yeah,
You know the
and he-
clown underneath the CD tray on Sublime? No. He's got a sock on his cock or whatever. You don't know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm picturing right now.
It was pretty bad.
I'll show it to you.
But that's like those are the things you remember. I mean, do I remember the good shows we played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
for
tour?
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
You keep going. I'm going to show you the Sublime clown. So I'm listening.
I want to see it.
Okay. Keep going though. So was Montreal your worst?
Montreal was super. Montreal's funny. It was the best and the worst at the same time. Like different parts of it were really good and really bad.
Yeah.
Like the second show we showed up to, we opened up for a doo-wop band, and I mean this guy played music from the 50s.
That's kind of cool.
It wasn't until before we go on stage, I'm walking out to have a cigarette, and he's standing there telling the bouncer, "We're not paying these guys." Basically, so it wasn't very motivating. He's showing me the picture right now.
That's the clown.
Okay, all right.
Clown. That's what I'm picturing. Right. Is that the guy with BO?
Yeah, pretty much.
with the clown gear and everything?
No, not the clown gear, but put a
something on his cock, whatever's on his cock there.
put a denim vest on him, and pretty much.
I think it's just a beer bottle on his cock.
It was horrid though.
All right.
That was horrid.
Sacre bleu. Sorry, so you were saying about Montreal before I cut you off with
No. So we played this show, and basically, we didn't really know what to expect. And this guy was a doo-wop guy. Like, he only played music from the 50s.
Yeah.
And it was very light. And we had no idea why he brought us there or wanted to play with us. And he sent us messages, like voice messages, because he didn't know English well and he couldn't, like, text anything. I'm very excited to play with you and all this and that. So we set up and everything. We did sound check and we walk outside. And I don't know, he seemed happy. But when I walked outside, I overheard him talking to the bouncer saying, "We're not paying this band a penny." And, it's not very motivating. I walk back
Listeners can't see my face.
Yeah. It wasn't very impressive. I wasn't very impressed with it, but.
Oh, my God.
So, but, he's riding the bus around in London playing shows still, and that's where you get doing that kind of stuff.
He's sleeping upstairs at the Richmond.
Yeah.
With his prostitutes. Jim.
Actually, the best places we played, and the best places I've played is London and Windsor. Windsor. Oh yeah, Windsor's awesome, man. A lot of people, everyone, like I had this buddy of mine, Dave. He's looking to manage the Feedbacks. Actually, he's been in contact with them, and he messaged me about contacts and stuff, and asked me some stuff. And everyone seems they want to get out of Windsor. Let's get out of Windsor. Get out of Windsor. Why? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with Windsor.
See, and
the
that's
scene in Windsor is great. All my London buddies, they want to come down here and play. Like, I brought the bath salts down here. We played an average show at Villains. It was cool. An average night at Villains is great.
Yeah. And
they were just like, "Oh man, this is awesome. Like, we want to keep playing." And there's lots of how many bars can we play in Windsor? There's like what, 6, 7?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
London's bigger than Windsor. And there's two you can play consistently. Like,
yeah.
See,
I got a couple things for that, which I agree, because it's when I was in Rocket Ships briefly. The plan was for the band to shift up to Toronto, and I disagree with that. I understood the singer's motivation to do so, but we had played a show at the Room, and it was packed, and so like Rocket Ships was picking up steam here in Windsor. So like my argument was like, why leave? Like, it's too soon to leave.
How many bands do you hear? Like, Toronto's the only scene I'm really not familiar with because it's hard to get into, right?
And I've got something for that too, also about Rocket Ships. But what were you gonna say?
Oh, I just don't feel like I don't see where Toronto scene's so much bigger than where's the big bands coming out of Toronto? You don't see them, and I'm not doubting any bands from Toronto. There's tons of bands.
No.
Like I know Fist Assista's really good. There's tons of bands, but we don't hear of them.
Yeah.
It's not like being in Toronto is that much. Seems like that much more of a benefit than it is being in Windsor. Don't you? I don't know.
Yeah, because before I officially joined Rocket Ships, I went up to Toronto with them to play Canadian Music Week. And we were talking with, and we've mentioned this on the show too, but we've been talking with some of the bands that they were sharing the stage with that night. And at first, we meet them in like the back of the venue. It was Velvet Underground. I don't know if you've ever been there. It was in the back alley there, like just loading shit in, and like we meet these people, and we're in awe just because they're like from Toronto, and just like we have this like intimidation about us just because we're like, fuck us, we're from Windsor. Turns out Rocket Ships was the best fucking band there that night.
Oh yeah,
but like the way that one of these guys that we talked to was talking very candidly too about the scene in Toronto was just like, you guys are more I think he used the word exotic. I think it just because like bands like us, we're dime a dozen in Toronto. Like who cares? Like there's so many fucking bands in Toronto. Just because you're from out of town, like you are the like.
Well,
and then we heard them play and it was shit.
And you, oh no,
great
I agree.
people.
Yeah,
but they weren't good.
I don't know if you noticed it too. Toronto bands seem to have their own sound. Toronto and Windsor bands have a certain sound. We're very Americanized.
Absolutely,
right?
And I've said that for years.
So there's a touch of commercialism, like that kind of like because our radio stations, like them or not, they are good, right? I mean, they've done well, but yeah. So I feel like when you play with Toronto bands, you're getting like the guy shows up with a little amp, crummy drum kit, but kill it like indie music. You know what I mean? Like very independent. Where Windsor's a little more, you get a little more polished, like mainstream type of stuff. I'm not saying not as creative, but not as daring.
Well,
I
mean, just because you said Americanized, how do you feel? Like, what is your connection with Canadian
America?
Well, no, with Canadian music, with Canadian music.
My connection with Canada, I have a huge connection with Canada.
Well, because me personally, like, I agree, we are Americanized here, and like, I have I mostly listen to American bands. Mostly watch American movies.
I'd say I listen to more. I definitely watch more American television and more interested in it. But
because
band-wise, I'm Canadian. And
really?
Not by choice. Oh, yeah.
Really?
English, too. I like Gallows a lot. Gallows is this, because they're spin-off, like, Alex on Fire is my favorite band, right?
Okay.
And so Wade left, when Alex on Fire broke up, he went to Gallows. I don't know if you know who Gallows is.
No.
They're an English punk band, like hardcore punk, like heavy, right? It's cool. So I'm big into them. And Billy Talent after that, it just streams down. Like, I love Canadian bands.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's your predominant.
Yeah, and not by choice. Like, I never like set out to be like that.
Yeah.
I just like at the
Just
end of the
happened.
day, it's like I love Audioslave and stuff like that, but they stopped. You know what I mean? But so yeah, in the last 5 to 8 years at least. I mean, it's been about Lex on Fire and Dallas Green.
Okay.
Just City in Color is just amazing to me.
All right. Yeah. See, like I there's very few Canadian artists that I have gravitated towards over the years.
Yeah.
Because it's been mostly American bands, British bands.
Oh yeah.
A lot, but mostly American
90s
bands.
were big
I have
American,
more.
right?
The older I got, the more I listened to like Canadian bands.
Really?
Bands in general, not even just Canadian bands, but stuff that you thought you were too cool for or something. When you were a
Okay,
teenager
when
or
it first
something,
came.
like,
Okay, so now you're revisiting it at like an age like
or
this.
even just like stuff as you, even
There's
just
a lot
like
of
some classic rock in general that you get into more as you get older.
Yeah.
as you
There's a lot of
appreciate it
Canadian shit that's not that hasn't been really brought to the forefront. Like even like old I Mother Earth stuff. I was listening to some of that the other day. I was like, wow, man, this shit's
That's
good. Like
one of the-
Levitate. Like my buddy shared something. I forget the song, Not So Sonic or something like that. And it was like, and it started making me remember that album, like Levitate, No Rain, or the Rain song or whatever. It's just so
Rain
good.
Will Fall.
Yeah.
That was
Rain Will Fall. Yeah,
that
sorry,
was
the
one
Rain
of the
song.
few Canadian. That was one of the few Canadian bands in the '90s that I gravitated towards.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That was my favorite.
Hey, man,
Canadian
a lot
band.
of people don't like it. Not a lot of people, but some people aren't crazy. I think a Tea Party's just. I've seen Tea Party a couple times in my life. I think they're just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not Tea Party fan.
No, I am. I mean, not.
I didn't get much reaction. There,
Well, not huge. No, I agree with you. I've seen them a couple times, and they are amazing.
yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I came and went. I have Edges of Twilight and Transmission.
What about Sloan? I saw Sloan last summer.
Okay.
In Dresden. Was it Dresden? It was crazy. There was no one there.
for both the people in Dresden.
Yeah, yeah. There was no one there. We got to go right to the front of the stage.
Yeah.
Same crew I went to the Soundgarden concert with, right? We're trying to do concerts together.
Yeah.
And no wait for beer. They're serving bud and cans.
Were you the only ones there?
No. Huge field and all set up nice. But like just, there's a lot of people there, but just so big.
Okay.
Not that many people there. But it was fun.
Yeah.
But not a big Sloan fan?
You know what? I just recently, and I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't admit this, but I downloaded their discography.
Nice.
Maybe last year. I haven't fully gotten into them, but I hated them growing up as a
Yeah,
kid.
I hated them too.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What lyrics?
But I
People
would
can't
give,
get
I
over
would
the
give them a
lyrics.
chance now. Like
Hated them, but
What
you-
was the hate for?
I don't
know.
know, just because it
Yeah.
wasn't Pearl Jam, like who knows? Who knows? It wasn't a good. It was never a
She's
good
honest.
reason when you're a kid. It's never a good. I admit
No.
that. Like seriously, it started with Pearl Jam for me, and then the Seattle 4, and then like eventually I got to all right, Nine Inch Nails, and like they crept in, and then like I would spiral out to
Well,
like.
when you set the bar at Pearl Jam, right? I mean,
But that's it. Like my brother would try to show me another band. Like, oh, have you heard Alice in Chains? Are they Pearl Jam? Well, no. Like, well, then I don't give a shit. And then eventually, I smartened up. But yeah, Sloan was one of those bands. Like we, like all of our
Yeah.
group of
I think that's
group of
just what it
friends
was,
couldn't
too, like,
stand.
I'm not saying I like all the music. Some of it's a little.
But
But-
over the years, I just found Beatles on my own, and we talked about this last episode. I found
Me too.
Beatles.
At length.
I found Beatles without the help of my parents.
Me too.
So do you have him on your
Yeah.
side for this argument?
Yes, are you on my side?
Yeah, I think that.
Beatles or Rolling Stones?
Beatles.
Where were you last week?
I think
There's
that's
no
your-
argument.
I think that's your first one.
Really?
Even though
Louise?
I'm kind of 50-50, but
Yeah.
like I said, even though I'm
Feeling
kind of
outnumbered now, aren't you, Kale?
No, like I said,
I
was
know,
kind of just
I know.
50-50 anyway. I didn't really have a strong opinion either way, but
Andrew was the Rolling Stones guy last week, and I was the
ultimately
Beatles.
I'd probably have to go Rolling Stones. But
Right.
I don't really have a deep,
So I
I don't have a
felt
deep knowledge of
outnumbered.
either.
Non-musician.
In-
The other
in-
guy's a
in
bass.
my own
The other
home.
guy's a bass player.
My own home. But I gave him. He brought me Exile on Main Street on vinyl. I haven't listened to it yet. To listen to,
Oh.
and I sent him home with the White Album.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
let's.
you win.
Well, we'll see. Where were we now? Now I'm all.
The White Album is a beautiful looking record, eh? My dad had that when I was growing up.
He's got it too.
Do you have that?
Oh, it's
CD?
beautiful.
Okay, I was gonna
It's
say,
so
if
nice
you,
looking.
if you don't have it, I was gonna say you could have it.
No, that's yours. You treasure that.
Like I was thinking,
You
that
listen
recently.
to
My
that.
CDs. I don't need. I don't think I remember I threw out a bunch of like cases recently because my card got broken into and somebody stole my stereo and my CDs. They needed something to play them with.
Recently?
No, like years ago.
Oh, okay.
Not like 10 years ago. I
Okay.
don't know, but so I had all these cases that didn't have a CD in them, because I just had like the book.
Yeah.
But I was gonna, if I still have those, I was gonna offer that to you if there's
Okay.
anything that you needed.
Does your car play CDs?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a phone now.
Yeah, but you
I have an auxiliary cord.
okay. Do me a favor. You're going on. You do your road trips.
Yeah.
You do your camping during the
Listen to
summertime.
the White Album.
Please, you got time, and listen to Gore. Goddammit, Deftones, new Deftones.
I did several times through.
Okay.
That's what I find ridiculous about the argument.
No, but your road trip, it's a double disc. Listen to the White Album.
All right.
It's a good road
We'll see.
trip album.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's good.
Sorry, we got off on a tangent. What were we talking about? We got into a thing with Beatles.
Yeah.
We went from Sloan. We're talking about
Sloan, yes, thank
Pearl
you,
Jam.
thank you. I brought up Beatles because of Sloan. They're like the Canadian Beatles.
Yeah. Tragically hip.
Multi instrumentalists. They all sing.
Oasis is the English.
They've got that
is the
poppy-
English Beatles.
Oh,
Tragically hip
yeah.
is not pop though. Like
You're right.
Sloan-
No. You're right.
But over time,
Tragically
I've
Hip's the Canadian Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. That's I think
And before Pearl Jam, I guess, but
yeah.
No, good call.
Kind of that-
You're
that
right.
cult-
yeah.
But
the
the older
cultiness of it.
the older I've gotten, I've come to appreciate Sloan. A little
Yeah.
bit more. I just haven't fully gotten into them, but like.
Some gritty stuff in there, man. If you check on some of the albums, like a lot of stuff's like the main hits are really like light and they're singing falsetto and all pretty and stuff. Which is nothing wrong with that, but some of the stuff's really rocky and like up in your face. It's cool, man.
Yeah, I can't deny what's the horn song for everything you've done wrong.
Oh yeah,
Everything
Yeah.
you've done wrong, baby.
Yeah.
Ah, the horns. Woo.
yeah. I like. You ever heard the Other Man?
Yes.
What a clever song, to write like the.
It cuts deep.
from the love. For, the aspect of the other guy,
Yeah.
the other man.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Like,
Yeah.
no one's ever done that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for that bass player, the singer bass player.
Yeah. Chris Murphy.
I wouldn't know his name if you told me.
I think it's Chris.
I thought you were still talking about the Beatles for a second. You mean John Lennon?
Ringo.
No. Paul McCartney was the bassist.
Oh, sorry.
You'll learn
I was
this.
thinking guitarist.
You'll
so
learn this
I was
on
only
your-
half paying attention.
You will learn this on your road trip when you listen to the White Album. Dear Prudence on the road,
Oh yeah.
right?
What's the song before Dear Pardon? Oh,
Back in the USSR.
The way they
that's how I
run-
got into Blue Rodeo was hearing that on the radio while on a road trip. It was a band I never gave a shit about. As a younger
as a
person.
kid, I
Yeah.
fucking hated them whenever their
me
video
too.
would come on Much Music.
Yeah.
Blue Rodeo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now maybe if I heard them,
But just like hearing their songs on the radio on like CBC2 or something like that while you're driving around North Bay or some shit.
Yeah.
And this is a good song for driving along.
they got that country
wooded
twang.
road.
They got that twang.
Yeah, it's a little country.
Canadian
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
Canadian sound. All those
It's
bands.
it's like country rock kind of. They got like the not really ballads, but the deeper songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you know, just from hanging out down here in Basement Place, I've slowly tried to get into Tragic of the Hip too.
Yeah.
How's
I have-
How's that going?
I have.
Well,
I
I
always
got
kinda
their
liked them.
entire discography. It's on my MP3 player, so like most of the time when I've heard it, it's just been on like shuffle or whatever. I haven't hated anything. I just haven't fully sunk my teeth.
I did
into
that
it
too, where I kind of I bought the or downloaded the greatest hits. There was like almost like 40 songs or something like that.
You-
And I've always liked them, but I didn't really know anything too deep. But just the singles,
The gritty songs, like this stuff, like like more '90s stuff, like 100th Meridian album, like a Locked in the Trunk of the Car, stuff like that, and Day for Night album. I think you'd dig that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like as far as like hip wise goes,
Yeah.
Is it kind of get away from the blues on that stuff? Like on those albums. So
I always remember their
I liked-
videos on Much Music, and it was just like, I'd always like turn it like.
Yeah.
But now,
cheap
like,
looking, eh? Some of them are cheap.
Well, just I don't know if it was just like who knows, like as a teenager, like a stupid kid.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just disregard this music, and then I hear it like years later, like, oh, well, I was an idiot.
An old school blues sound to them, you know.
I like some of like the older, I don't know if they're older, but like the softer songs, like the more depressing songs. And there's also
Yeah, their
like,
ballads are good.
there's also like that hard Canadian part of it too, where I was saying that recently, how much I learned about Canadian history from listening
From
to
their
Tragedy
lyrics,
Hip
from
song,
their
yeah.
lyrics.
Oh yeah,
These songs, just songs about
What's
hockey
the hockey
players
player
and-
song is
Yeah, I was
just
gonna say the
genius.
50 Mission Cap.
Yeah, about Bill Barocco. You know about that?
Now this is all over my head.
Oh,
I thought
this is
up
okay.
until-
Well,
And that's how I know the story, just from the
51
song.
Mission Cup. What was it? They won the Stanley Cup. Oh, they won the Stanley Cup
50,
back in the 50s with
59 or
him, and they
something.
didn't win it again. And he passed away right after they won the cup.
He scored the winning goal. in
Yeah, and he was this
50
young
something.
rookie. He was like, only like, what was he 24 or something like that? If that,
yeah.
I don't know. He was going to be one
they
of
won the cup
He could have been one of the
this year.
greater hockey players to play. Like greatest of all time, but a really good legend in Toronto. And he ended up dying in a plane crash that summer.
Yeah,
And
right.
they didn't
after.
find his body until the next
I
time
think
they
it was
won.
2 years, or
No, it was like
it was a few years. Anyway.
Oh, is it 10 years? I don't know.
I think it was that much. It was like
Tragically,
it was like
hip
2 or
fans
3
are
years or
pissed
something.
with us right now. So
by the way, how Canadian is this conversation right now?
I'll look it up.
as the American laughs at us.
So these hockey players, right?
Oh, we're
I think
looking
it was
it
only
up
2 or
quick.
They were sucking on maple syrup, eh?
I think it was only 2 or 3 years after.
But yeah, they didn't find his body till the year that
They won the cup
They won
again.
the cup again, the Leafs. So it's kind of a big deal.
that's poetic.
Yeah, it's cool, and he says that in the song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
and it's a good song. It's really heavy and gritty. You'd like it, man. It rocks.
Okay,
It's a
all
good
right.
song.
I'll dig.
for sure.
Are we looking something up, or can I talk
Yeah.
about stuff?
You can still talk about
Okay.
stuff. But I was just looking at how long of a difference it was from when he died to when he was found.
So speaking of the kind of the contrast between the American music industry and the Canadian music industry, and being the maturity level that you are at, the age
I'm old.
the age that you are at. No, like a fine wine, sir. What are your thoughts? I mean, you're still very active in the music community, the local scene. What are your thoughts on the industry as a whole? Like, do you still have those aspirations? I mean, you're still touring, so you have that fire in you still.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on what's going on with the music industry? Do you have hope for it?
Oh, I never really had any hope for anything except for just playing and touring and recording and playing live. Like, I never thought I'd make it. Of course.
Whatever.
Why would I?
Yeah,
right?
whatever that means.
Yeah, and I mean, like for me, I have made it in my mind. I have the freedom to play whenever I want not with whoever I want, but I don't have to settle for things. As far as like certain bands, I can get in bands that I like, and enjoy, and like as far as the industry, I don't know what's going on with it, so I really can't comment. What I do know is Windsor has a decent scene. That's it. That's all I know, and I just keep plugging away. I don't really. I know. Okay, so the bass player for Bolty Tony, Darren, he's a during the day he works on cars. He's a mechanic, right? So he was telling me like he checks people's cars, like when he has to move cars all the time, and he has to hear the radio, and he tells me that only like 10 to 15% of people actually listen to music that we listen to and play.
Specifically, the music genre.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, which it is, and you know it too, like rock music is not popular anymore. It's not cool anymore.
Right now. Right now. It goes through shifts.
But you want to know the... yeah, but it's just not. And I'd like to see it come back around, but it's not looking good. You got to admit.
But look at back what happened before, like the early 90s. Look at what was like with the 80s. We are reliving the 80s right now.
I wouldn't say, at least in the 80s, there was like Poison and stuff and bands still playing. Like, there's no bands playing.
Well,
name a mainstream band right now on the radio. Kings
Steel Panther.
Kings of Leon released an album like last year, and I still hear their music on the radio. Like, as far as like, and they're not even like a band that I'm like crazy about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, like, as far as like, what was popular with like the new wave stuff, there's a lot of like trios coming out, churches. So what are some other groups where it's like
Paris,
two guys and a girl? It's just like
you mean right now.
Yeah, right now, like two guys with with keyboards.
It
and
seems
a
like
singer.
it's just a big mishmash of styles. So I don't know if you noticed that.
No,
Like,
I agree.
Like there's no grunge, and not I'm obviously a grunge fan, but okay, well you don't see a punk band come out.
Yeah.
If they come out, they're punk and techno and something else, and country,
something that corporate has.
Yeah.
Corporate.
Yeah, it's you don't get that cut and dry style.
Yeah.
Which I like an eclectic band, and I like that style and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like you want to hear a punk band, you hear a punk band. If everything's mishmashed together, there's no styles of music anymore.
I agree. I think as far as any kind of honesty in the music, I think that really went out the door in the mid '90s. I don't really want to localize it by saying the death of Cobain because that's too easy. But it's just right around the mid '90s where it became a little less honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just because I wasn't accepting the change. Like right around '95, it was like you turn on much.
Define less honest.
Where I guess where like corporate America, not corporate America, but like the corporations, it just
where they can't do what they want anymore.
Music got more corporate-y. Like they found a formula, like with any group, like boy bands started coming in, like the Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah.
Like
Big fan.
Like a little bit after the New Kids on the Block era, like that becomes like the pop. The Britney Spears started coming out, like all that kind of stuff. It became very fluff. Is that what the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
It became very fluff. Bubblegum.
Yeah.
But like I noticed,
cutter, yeah.
I don't mean to call this genre fake or anything, but I remember like watching like Glastonbury Fest on Much Music, and like this was around the time that Prodigy started coming out, and it was a lot.
I remember watching that.
A lot, yeah, right.
That was crazy.
I always wanted
Firestarter.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to Glastonbury just because Much Music would always play it.
Yeah.
But it was like the electronica.
Is Much Music around anymore? Is it? They still play music? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're around, but they don't play music.
Remember how
I was
cool
telling
was
him
when
recently.
I haven't seen it
since Chris Cornell died. They like sometimes like sometimes like early in the morning they play a lot of just TV shows now. They play like Family Guy, and American Dad,
reality
and stuff
shows like
that.
MTV.
Not even so much as that. Like they do and they have, but actually they play a lot of good shit in a way too. Like they'll play Simpsons and like I said,
really?
like American Dad and Family Guy and stuff
Much
like
music?
that. Yeah.
Wow.
Like at certain
but they're not.
Time, like
They're that desperate for. Like, they
they
don't
have
have.
5:30 or something. In
They
the
don't have
afternoon.
music
It's-
videos to
it's
fill up time. Or
But
what?
they do
there's
in,
no
like,
creativity anymore.
Well, they do it like I was saying. It was surprising because they recently, even just general time. Sometimes it'll be like in the morning because I work midnight, so I get home at like 6 in the morning, and they'll have music videos on. But since Chris Cornell died, they were playing a lot of not only his shit, but they were playing just like a lot of '90s stuff.
Yeah.
So they were just kind of playing that, and then every second or third song would be like Soundgarden or Audio Slave or something like that. But like I was saying, that's where we were talking about Big Wreck, and there's tons of other ones. That was just the one thing I thought of.
Yeah.
That I remember they.
But this
played,
was the morning.
Yeah, but sometimes in the afternoon too they play stuff like that, or sometimes they just have like alternative whatever, like a 90s hour or something like that. And they
'Cause
play all that stuff. So
Because I haven't seen.
it's not all bad still.
See, that's good
for
to
a while.
hear.
For a while, it was. It just seems like it's been a little better lately.
But they don't even go by much music anymore. It's just much.
Yeah,
Because I think, like, guys,
they got rid of-
people are going to notice that there's no
I don't
music
know.
going on.
I don't know if they completely got rid of it or just Kojiko, like the local carrier or whatever, got rid of it. But they used to have much more music.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they
remember
got
that.
rid of that.
Yeah.
And then
that
eventually
used to-
there
and
was
that-
no music
and
on that one.
I was just saying that used to be more like it would be like more kind of older style music,
Yeah.
you know, like more geared towards our generation, I guess. And then it started getting worse where they're just playing the same thing as much music, and then reality shows, and then now it's gone. Now it's like a cooking channel or something. And that's when they replaced it completely.
Oh, it's not even much more music.
I don't know if it's gone completely or just like what it used to be channel 32 on Kojiko. Now they've changed. it with
I can see them
different
just
channel.
dropping that because, like, guys, we're not even
It
playing.
did-
Is
it
the music
become very
video
repetitive.
dead then?
Yes.
Is the music video is dead.
Yeah.
Is that
other than
safe
YouTube,
to say?
other than YouTube now. Like,
But
gotta
you know
gear
what?
it
But do
towards something
people
that-
make videos anymore? Like,
Yeah.
They do,
Crooked
but
Steps, I
they
think, was
do.
the last one I watched.
They
Did
do.
you
They
see
still
that?
make
directed by
videos.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah, it was
Much Music still plays new music videos for everything, but they still make them. But
Yeah. Well, I think it's
It is
like the bigger, like the
unnecessary.
pop acts, like the
Yeah, yeah.
the
Oh.
the
That's what I mean.
Illuminati groups. You know,
I
there's
don't know.
that's what I mean. But even still, bands still make videos, and they'll even if they're not played on Much Music or MTV, they'll still be on YouTube.
Yeah, but
something to put on your channel, right?
Do you remember
So-
the '90s
most
when,
people
like,
just listen to
you know, like
music on
a
YouTube.
Canadian band like the Killjoys would come out with videos like
Oh, yeah.
bands that small? I can only assume.
Change of Heart. Remember Change of
Change
Heart?
of Heart, yeah. The Jail Cell one, the Jail Cell video. That's
I
all.
know.
That's all I
Yeah,
remember.
it's like kind of a slowish song.
That's all.
yeah,
Black
yeah.
and White, maybe. That's all.
Trigger. You remember Trigger?
By them?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
I just remember the Jail Cell video.
Jail
But I
Cell
do.
one's cool.
I do remember Change of Heart though.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But yeah, I only assume, like, if there are smaller artists making videos, then they're only released on such mediums like YouTube. But what
At
came
least you have that option now.
what came out like
it's
years
awesome.
ago?
Yeah.
I know specifically, like, labels like Warner Brothers, because I remember, like, the Chili Peppers being part of, like, this news story or whatever. Like, but Warner Brothers were pulling all the videos off of, because they're not making any money. Here's my question: if they're not on YouTube, where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
You know, if you're not gonna, if just let them go on YouTube for people who want to, like, you know, trip down memory lane. Oh, let's watch this video. Oh, we can't because Warner Brothers isn't making any money off of this.
Oh, yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Well,
Where
they
are
can
these
now.
videos going?
Well, they can now on YouTube if they want to.
What?
They can make money by playing them. Just
Oh, by
having commercials in between everyone.
That's true, by monetizing.
yeah.
That's
Like,
totally
yeah.
what we should do to this show, because these are getting like over 5,000 views each episode.
Has it?
No, we're at like 40 or 50.
What system is that?
I-
What system of measurement?
metric,
are you
it's
using?
metric.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's metric.
It's only Australian
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah. I mean, the music industry as a whole it seems scary,
Yeah, it's.
especially what it's become. Very corporate-y.
I think the style too. What's mainstream right now? It seems like, you know, the pop's okay. You know, it's not my thing, right? But it seems to be rolling pretty good, and rock seems to be dead.
Just hang on, brother.
Yeah,
Hang
I
on,
know.
telling you,
I'm trying.
Fashion is cyclical, and we're in the 80s right now.
I think it's better than any time though.
You can
As
leave,
an
you
outsider.
can leave my house
As
right
How
now.
do you
outsider.
say that? How do you say that?
To get your stuff out, if that's your goal.
Oh my God!
I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about like fashions or
We're talking-
music.
More about what's the forefront. What is the front
Avenues.
In 1990, if you're talking about music videos now. If you shot it, or they even bother shooting in music videos, but in 1990, if you were like, you know, and you shot a music video, what would you do with it?
Oh,
you know?
exactly.
It would
No,
have to be
you're
on
right,
one of
dude.
those big camcorders that
Now
would-
you can
Even
put
just
on,
Facebook
you can
alone,
put on
eh?
YouTube, and you might only get 20 views, but you might get more. You know?
Oh no, exactly. Like even just Facebook.
Like how many people are made from YouTube, right?
Oh yeah, just promoting being able to have Facebook. Like, jeez, that's huge, right? You got 1,000 friends. There's
Yeah,
1,000
yeah.
people know you're playing.
Yeah,
Friday
you have a
night.
show, and
you know,
you can take 2
it's
seconds,
huge, yeah.
2 seconds and post something as
and
opposed
just
to going
sharing
out,
on Facebook or
as opposed to spending a
Instagram
whole-
or like you said, the social media.
spend
it's
a whole day
huge
putting
thing.
up posters or something about your
But-
show.
So I guess you're right. In that sense, it's way better.
Yeah.
Like as far as mainstream music and what's getting pumped down, what the kids nowadays are hearing is just
It's hardly good.
crazy.
It's hardly good.
it's hard to accept. They don't even know who.
One or two will squeak by, where it's just like, wow, this is actually good.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just like, wow, this is crazy.
That's the thing. There's it's so much easier to put your shit out there, but therefore there's 1,000 times more people putting out shit too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, with recording,
it's like anything. It's like with photography too. There's so many people that are amazing, and you see so much more of it, but there's so many people that think they're good at it, but they're just putting shit out there that are...
Well, and it's the accessibility of technology too. Like, look at what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
You couldn't do this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, we got a laptop recording right now. Anyone can have a music studio now with the proper equipment.
Even
like
just using an
laptop.
iPhone, you still get a better recording than you would have with pretty good gear 20 years ago.
I record off my phone during practice. If we have,
that sounds great.
If we have something fuck, hold on, keep playing those
taking
drums.
videos off your phone. I mean, you can take a video off your phone, put it up on YouTube, and that could be your fucking music video.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not good.
Yeah.
For sure.
So there are ups and downs to where we are right
But
now.
it also raises the bar too, because
it does.
So many people. It's so much easier for so many people to do it.
Yeah. Well, because I think
there's more bad people, but more good ones.
I
too.
think Gurney was saying it on the round table, or someone was saying it recently. I heard it that you don't even. Yeah.
It was in all the papers.
It was Entertainment Tonight.
Big
Actually,
Trump said it.
But I think it was Eric that was saying that like you don't even need a major label anymore.
Yeah.
No. Well, didn't Radiohead kill all that theory when Radiohead dropped their label?
In Rainbows was the first album, I think.
I think so, and they put it up online and for donation, and the average person paid, I think, $2, and they made more money than they've ever made on any album.
Really?
Yeah, and they didn't even
Without the
sell that
middleman,
much.
Yeah, just without not having to pay them.
Not having all the middlemen, all the people with their fucking hands into it.
And nowadays too, with digital downloads and not having to make.
Yeah,
a CD,
it really changed everything.
You don't have to print a CD or a vinyl or something. You don't have that overhead.
Yeah.
That was in Rainbows, right?
I don't know the name of the album.
10 years ago. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's 10 years ago.
The one where like pay what you want.
Yeah.
It's like Bon Jovi's Soup Kitchen.
I don't know.
True story. He's got a soup kitchen. I think in
Pay
Philadelphia.
what you want, or you can do the dishes.
Yes.
Okay. I read that.
Yeah. Yes. You know what? I forgot my wallet at home, and I'm really allergic to dish soap, so
Wait.
I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Imagine taking a date out. Take a date to the place.
You're just scrubbing dishes, just
Yeah.
locking.
I'll
eyes
be right
with
back. I'm
locking
gonna pay for
eyes
a
with
meal.
each other.
Yeah.
I'll be back. I have to go the bathroom. I'll be back.
You're
watching
for 45 minutes.
You come back. I got
the runs.
You forget the white towel over your shoulder. It's still there. It's just like
You had soup all over your shirt.
bathroom. I went to the bathroom.
Only Bon Jovi.
Do not go in there.
As I said before, you're in about 18 or 19 bands currently right now. I think you're late for practice right now. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. First of all, because I've always been a monogamous guy, just like one band. But I've always been kind of like the creative force of it, so like I have no energy for anything else. It'd be awesome to be a background guy. So I don't know how you do it. How do you juggle all this stuff? I think we talked about this earlier with you being on 2 baseball teams and everything.
Yeah.
As well.
3 baseball teams.
Three, was it?
So of all the projects that you're in, what has priority?
Well, right now, Rapscallions.
Rapscallions.
Because we're just rolling. You know, like we're in the studio. We're playing. We're playing the radio here and now. Dan McDonald's been playing us a lot, which has been super cool. Other things, that's just the project that seems to be on the go right now. You know, as far as the other 2, Bolty Tony's kind of at a standstill a little bit.
Yeah.
You're
down one member, or?
Yeah, well, we lost our guitar player, so we're revamping and putting shit together like with a 3-piece, right? We lost Charlie. Charlie parted ways. All good with him and everything. He went on to his own band and stuff like that, so it's good. But yeah, it's hard to balance it for sure. But I just like the jam, So at the end of the day, if stuff's not going on with one band,
You got to fall back.
Yeah, I push the other ones and try to figure it out and get it rolling.
Yeah.
But makes me happy to jam all the time,
That's good.
So with no kids and the way my life is. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Kale. Cheers.
He's in the club too. All right.
Cheers to the kids.
No, with all that, it makes it easy. Like all people are like, oh, how do you do it? How do you do it? It's like, well, I don't have kids.
Yeah.
It's
I think that's the most effective answer. I think.
That's
like
my reason for most things.
my brother.
I'm very musically driven too. I love music, like with a passion.
Yeah,
you know? And obviously, you get that. You know, like you do.
Yeah.
You can see that, right?
Well, like we have free time. Like my brother has 4 girls.
Oh my.
Yeah.
There's no free time there.
No, not at all. None at all. None at all. So the Rapscallions are kind of got a little special place nuzzled in your heart right now.
Oh yeah, and well deserved.
Yeah.
Everyone in that band is just, working their butts off and rolling along. We have a bass player, and when we formed a year ago, he only played for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then he come in, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't know about this guy, and we told him you gotta, and he's busting his butt. And it's fun playing with someone who's never played before when you play live shows.
Yeah.
So we get to laugh at him.
Yeah,
and, what do you think of this? And he's nervous. Like our first show, he needs to sit by himself for like 10 minutes. It was the best. We're like,
gotta
what are you
have
doing,
that
Rick? You need some time by yourself?
He's gonna have the 8 Mile moment.
Yeah. Yeah, he threw up spaghetti on his shirt and everything. Yeah. That's been one of the funner things is working with Rick because he's so green to it.
Yeah.
Right. So
He's their bassist?
He's our bass player, yeah, and we get to tease him, and it's awesome.
We had a new guy, actually a bassist in my buddy Jim's band, Oddity. We had their bassist down here jamming with us one night, and he's like, Oddity is his first band. He's early 20s. And the way that me and Eric play, like we just like keep shooting off songs. Like I told you earlier, our songs are super easy to play.
Yeah.
So we're just like, okay, this, and this, ready? Okay, here we go. And we must have thrown like 30 songs at him just in like 3 hours one night.
How do you do?
Okay, yeah. Like he held it. Like I don't blame him for just like kind of like trying to like keep up or whatever.
Well, 30 songs.
well, the easy songs, but like still a lot of material.
Yeah, it's a lot of material.
Where it's just like, okay, open 3, 5. Good. Okay, here we go. And then like the covers that we'd play would be just as easy, but like I understood kind of his being overwhelmed.
Oh yeah,
with the whole thing. So like
it's fun watching that.
I totally get
like
what you're putting your bassist to.
Yeah.
Like a baptism by fire.
Yeah. It's fun to play jokes on guys like that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing the band shirt. Show up with the band shirt on. No one knows with him, right?
That's like the ninth hole. The ninth hole in Happy Gilmore. He shows up in a nice suit on the green at night, and then no one else shows up, and the sprinklers just turn on. He's just like, yeah, all right. You guys have any shows coming up?
Who's that? Rapscallions?
Yeah.
I believe the 16th of July, the 8th. Sorry, the 8th of July. We're at the International Hotel in Leamington. And other than
important.
that, no. That sounds important?
Yeah, it sounds serious.
I was really hoping you were going to say House of Pancakes.
No.
Yeah.
I wish. Oh my God. It'd be a great show, too.
Yeah.
No, we're going to play some Them County Bastards and Ignore the Evidence, some local bands and stuff like that. So it'll be fun. But other than that, we don't have a lot of planned right now. And shows are going to come out in the next couple weeks. You know what I mean? Like it's all kind of depending on our recording. And after that, we're going to start setting up stuff for the CD release and all this and that. So and helps welcome to play our CD release in Windsor if you're interested, man. Should be a good show.
If you don't mind a White Stripe setup, we're down to play.
Wait, no bass player right now.
If you don't care about
come on, we'll get Taylor out for that. Taylor will play that.
All right,
Okay,
Kale will do it.
Hell yeah, you're in.
There's 3 notes, right?
Yeah, 3 open 8. You know that, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's actually Eric that's been like pulling my leg to like we could just do it as a 2-piece. I'm like, no, we need a bassist.
Yeah,
but you know
just
what?
Use your dealie over there.
Your drum I'll just crank the bass on my amp.
We'll get you a pedal. We'll get you a bassy pedal. We gotta give him a pedal.
Use your mini cord.
Well, Local H did it.
Yeah.
Did they? I think he put a bass.
What's
pickup.
that band that opened up for the Foo Fighters? Something Blood.
Oh, Royal Blood.
Oh,
I didn't see them. I was too late.
Man,
were you at that show where you're sitting down?
No, I've seen footage of those guys live.
Yeah.
Oh, sick, dude. The guy. Oh yeah, he's playing bass.
You didn't see Grohl on the Throne?
No.
It was so
oh
good.
yeah,
It
where he
was-
broke
it
his
was-
leg.
it was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. It
I
was
saw
so
some-
good.
Robbie from Bolton, he's a big fan. He's showed me a bunch of stuff.
That shit like shifted forward and backwards. and
I remember the I
Only
think you
him,
shared
eh?
the thing
Only-
of the drawing of it, like when he was on
yeah,
painkillers or something like that.
Oh, he
did
just
the-
drew it
did you
up
see
and
the
then-
drawing. of
Did
it?
you see
Yeah.
that shirt?
Make
I
this-
have
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
I have that shirt.
That's
It's
what it
just
is.
his
It's on
like
the shirt.
drugged up drawing of like his
Imagine how funny he'd be to
Lasers
deal with
and
that.
shit.
He's like,
La-
see this drawing? Make it.
Well, like up here around like the top of the chair, it just says like it's just like an arrow to it, and like, you just wrote out like lasers and shit.
Yeah, I thought that was something. Of it. Yeah, lasers and shit.
Lasers spelled with a Z.
Yeah,
Before we move on, what is the future of DTN?
Drown the noise.
Drown the Noise. What's going on with them?
Well,
Because I don't know if we've mentioned it yet.
If we have, I'll just edit this part out. Okay. We've already covered it.
You guys helped us out in a huge way
oh yeah.
because you had us out at least 2 times, maybe a third time, when we didn't know how to start our own show or anything. Just like whoever was asking us, just like yeah, we'll play.
Yeah, no, and we liked your style right away when we brought you out. But no, the band's kind of well, Dave and Sheep, right? The drummer and the singer, they were together before the band even started, and they've had a baby, so it's kind of put everything on hold.
Yeah.
And Rachel is our bass player. She
The
has
bass.
her own band. Obviously, I have my own projects. What's her band called? Shoot.
Don't worry, I'll edit all this.
Okay.
Until
You gotta throw. Okay, wait. I'm gonna say now. Her band is, and then you're gonna put your voice in. Blah blah blah.
Oh no, it's got to be your voice.
No. You just overdub your voice
What's
on
her
top of
band?
it.
What's her band's name then?
It's like Saddam. Saddam. That's not it.
Saddam.
Sedate. I can't remember.
Sedate.
They're like
I'm gonna
black
say-
metal, so I'm lost right away. It's black metal, so I'm lost.
I-
They're real. I've heard their shit. I know Brandon Gruber's a drummer. He's really good. But anyway, so she's got her own thing going, and David
And,
Sheep
the,
got.
and the name is
Beep.
Saddam.
It must be a
Black Sabbath.
must be a Stephen Hawking voice.
In the black hole.
So between that, I mean, David Sheep, I'm the kid and everything.
Yeah.
It's been really slow moving.
Yeah.
We just went in the studio, did 2 songs. I don't know what's going on with the songs. We're still at a standstill. I think we're gonna put her on ice for a little bit
Yeah.
and come back. But when we come back, it'll be good.
Yeah. Well,
But-
they got the newborn. They're new parents.
Yeah, and I totally understand it. I'll wait around as long as it takes to jam with them. Like if they want to, definitely, having a baby is totally different deal, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've never been in a band. I've never been with a band with a couple, let alone a couple that has a baby.
Yeah.
It changed.
Very Fleetwood Mackey. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah.
reference there.
Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, well, I'm sure one day we'll come back.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I wish that band the best because
Yeah, we always like playing with you, man.
You helped help.
Yeah. One of my favorite shows is playing the Fog. Every time I play Fog, I remember it, and
That was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool. It was fun.
And it doesn't take much to pack that place.
No, you get 25 people in there. You're looking
Sold
like
out.
a rock star.
Yeah, sold out.
Like the coach.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get back to the final song of the night. Another Rapscallion song.
Awesome.
This one is called Footsteps.
Yeah.
Any story behind this?
No, not
okay.
really.
Okay, moving on.
No, Alex wrote it and just put some lyrics together that were clever and kind of like a little bit of a poem, a little bit, like rhyme and stuff. And sounds good.
Okay.
We're good, more music driven, so.
Okay. So this is the Rapscallions with Footsteps.
More you have, the less you
good.
I'll just record all this. Life for movement.
This performance brought to you by Craig Sinclair.
We'll probably get taken down for copyright for this.
All right.
I'm just kidding. I don't think they'll notice.
So Drew, Andrew,
Yes.
Andy, and what's the chick from Futurama? Endindin?
I don't remember.
The one-eyed Cyclops?
Lur from Persei, Omicron Persei, his wife,
yeah.
Endindin.
I don't
Can I call you Endindin?
Sure.
Okay, Endindin.
And Juju?
I think that's ND.
Yes?
I think that's NDND. I think that's how you spell it. Do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I do.
You do.
Yes.
Multiple? One?
Well, I have a question for you.
Me.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
What is the craziest show you've ever played besides shows with me?
Besides the Richmond?
What's the craziest thing that's ever happened at a show, or the most rememberable, whether it be bad or good?
Oh.
With help.
This is
With any band. With any
help.
band. With any band you've ever been with, I guess.
This
Yeah, something came to mind there.
seems like a broad question, but at the same time, it makes me feel kind of vanilla because not a whole lot has happened. I remember, you ever play FM Lounge?
Yeah.
Main floor of Loop and Coach?
No. I never
Vampire
played there.
Bar?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. My old band, Planet World, played there one time, and this one chick came walking in. She was drunk. Like she probably came, I think it was a Saturday, so she's probably coming from the Loop. Probably came downstairs from the Loop. Came up, right, like in, it's FM Lounge and it's Planet World. There's not, I'm going to cut to the chase. There's not a lot of people there. She came right up in front of me, and just she's like sexfully dancing, like drunk
While you're playing?
Yeah, drunk, sexfully dancing. My girlfriend is there.
Oh no.
She doesn't care. Like she's getting a kick out of it too. But like this girl is just like dancing like some sort of drunken gypsy. In between songs, she kept going, "Play Red Rooster, play Red Rooster." She's talking about Rooster by Alice in Chains. She's like,
Good old Red Rooster.
she's like, "Play Red Rooster," and I'm like, I don't know Red Rooster. Like I'm having this conversation with her in between songs, much like the people at the Richmond. Like in between songs, these people just find me often. I don't know. We don't know that song. We don't play that song. I mean, I know Rooster a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
we never play it. She's like, "Play Red Rooster," and then she kept asking me all these other questions, like just like trying to get in my
Freebird?
pants and everything. Like she was like a piece of meat to her. I don't know, whatever. That comes to mind. One of my probably still. My greatest memory is my first band, Next in Line. We played a Battle of the Bands at Riverside High School. We're from Herman, so we are massive underdogs.
Nice.
This is not even our school.
Those are fun ones.
Like kind of a rival school too, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it was St. Joe's and Herman that was
Yeah.
more rivals. But I had an Eminem moment in the bathroom. Right before we went on, because there's a couple hard hitters there at the same show that we were kind of in awe of. Like Downfall was there that night. There's a couple other bands like what the fuck are we doing here? I'm glad that there's no video that exists because we were probably crap, but just the memory of it was great. Everyone was kind of like off to the walls, like a grade school dance or whatever. Just like no one was in front of the stage for like all these bands. We were smack dab in the middle of that night out of like 10 or 12 bands. No one knew who the fuck we were, but by word of mouth, by the time we were setting up on stage, I go and have my Marshall Mathers moment in the bathroom. I'm panicking and I'm going to throw up. Just dry heaves. I'm not actually like releasing mom's spaghetti.
Did your mom make you spaghetti?
No, she did. But no, I didn't actually throw up, but like a lot of dry heaves, just like, oh my God, I can't do this. And the way that their stage was in the auditorium or wherever we played, the bathroom connected to the back of, so I never had to go in the main playing area, so I had no idea what it was like out there. I come up from the backstage still wanting to throw up mom's spaghetti, come up the stairs to the back, it's packed in front of the stage for us. what the fuck? Like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? Were you there?
The Riverside you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's weird. Like, the other day I was thinking about that for some reason, that show.
You were there.
Me and Dick went there. We got there kind of late. You guys were like, I think I got there for like the last two songs or something like that.
You weren't allowed in or something?
And then, no, we got there. Yeah, we got there. We paid, got in, saw like your last two songs, like the end of your set.
Yeah.
And then we went out to smoke or something, or smoke a joint.
Yeah.
And we would come back in, and they wouldn't let us back in.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
weren't allowed to leave and come back in, but nobody told us that before we left. So,
So,
we had to sit outside and wait for like 2 hours for you guys to leave so we could go back. And
While we were on
went and hung out at
stage,
Kev's, I think.
while we were on stage, I think I remember the door opening and just seeing you guys out there
Yeah,
each
yeah.
time the door would open.
Just us looking in, just real quick as the door slams shut.
just these two bitter guys, just probably stoned, just like this. Oh, doors would open and like back. I was like, oh well. He doesn't want to come in and see us. All right, well,
Just us
fuck him.
waving real quick.
We're not friends
Hey,
anymore.
Steve, I know the guy inside.
Look better outside.
It was great though. I felt like a rock star,
Yeah.
and sadly, that's still my best show.
Oh, that's not sadly. That's great.
It's a little sad, but no, it was a great memory.
Super cool.
How about you? Best.
Best memory of a show?
Yeah. Because I want the worst last.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, you got a lot of ground to cover.
I guess.
Were you not expecting me to turn
No,
this
I
question
didn't
around?
expect you to ask me that one. That's. You asked me the same question I asked you. You can't do that, right?
Yes,
okay.
I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, I guess honestly, like probably Bullet 2 Tony. We played a show like at the Chubby Pickle when I was doing the booking at the end, and we got rolling, and it was just clicked. You know what I mean? Just clicked on all cylinders, and
Yeah.
it was an old show, but I remember it being just like, I felt like we kind of took a notch up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just perfect show type of deal.
How was playing there when you're talking about when it was halved, right?
Yeah, when it got halved.
How
yeah.
was that?
Not as good. A lot of people dropped off from it. The capacity went down, right? Couldn't hold as many people. Not that it needed to, but
Yeah.
No, it was all right.
Well, because I had qualms with how the original stage was. It's just
Oh,
such a
who
stupid
did?
shape.
The horseshoe, it was horrible.
Yeah, like as the singer, I'm looking like across, and there's my guitarist.
Yeah, you
right,
couldn't be in
right
the middle.
there.
The middle of the
Because the stage would just do this. I'm like, oh, there's my guitarist right there.
and there was a foot between.
Did it bother you being in the front window?
No, that was cool. That, I
Yeah,
felt
actually, that was the coolest part of the
Yeah,
play.
no,
I felt
figured
like-
that could go either way.
I felt like I was at the Much Music environment,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Like, wind blowing, the trees
Yeah.
right outside.
Like you're
just
in
like,
super
on Good
awesome.
Morning America or something.
But the thing was,
at
like,
night, yeah.
the drummer, even if he set up like a little off the side, no matter where the drummer kind of sat up, it seemed like, usually the drummer, the singer's in front of the drummer type of deal, like not in front of him, but somewhat. But because of the way the stage was set up, remember that? You couldn't really be in front of the drummer because there's no room.
I was sitting on Omen's drums.
Yeah, because there's like actually a foot between the drums if they put the drums in the middle.
Yeah.
It was a messed up stage. It was a good idea for about 6 months, and then they should have changed the stage.
And,
you know what I mean?
And unless you sold that place out, it's
Yeah.
gonna sound like shit because sound is just bouncing everywhere.
Yeah.
Like the sold out shows sounded great, but
Yeah.
like on a typical what was it, Thursday?
well, the
Is that when
horseshoe,
we went?
the,
Saturday?
Thursday.
the horseshoe
Thursday,
is
Saturdays,
5 feet in the air
sometimes
too,
Fridays,
right?
Yeah.
The stage was like 5 feet up, right?
Yeah.
So you had this like horseshoe in front of it and stuff, and the sound just bounced off that with the huge floor in front of it. Yeah, if it wasn't packed, it sounded messed up for sure.
And it was actually Brett Humber's band that was there every time we were at Area 51.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did the booking there. I booked them every Thursday night for 2 months, I think. And
Yeah, they were
they were
always
originally
there.
they were our soundtrack to getting drunk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, good band. Good
Yeah.
band.
So what was your worst memory? What do you have a bad other than the Richmond show?
I don't have too many bad memories. When we were in Toronto with Drown the Noise, I went in the bathroom, and I went to
Eminem moment?
No, way worse. I went to go to the bathroom.
Oh, the other end.
Yeah. And there was a guy in there,
Spaghetti
and
still.
I didn't know, and he was listening to me, and he kind of asked me if everything was going okay and what I was doing in there. And I was freaked out. And the bathroom was the worst experience ever just because I sat on the stall and I sat on the toilet, and my legs and my knees hung out beyond the door. The door was so close to the toilet. Like
Yeah.
this was the worst bathroom ever, right?
Yeah.
It was the worst experience.
Where was this?
In Toronto,
Oh,
at
okay.
the Central. This bar I played. I probably won't play there again, so I don't care. But
Terrible stalls.
horrible.
Why
It was
would you
so-
want to play there again?
So
Terrible stalls.
the guy's talking to me, and I go to the bathroom. And I said, "Why are you talking to me?" You know,
Yeah.
and he just says, "Oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to be friendly." And I walked out, and it was just
Was it
very
Tom Arnold?
awkward. Yeah. I thought it was the guy was actually trying to be a dink and
Yeah, I do.
start
I got that.
Yeah.
start something with me. What? Oh, the
Austin
Tom
Powers.
Arnold. Yeah,
Austin
yeah.
Powers. Yeah,
How about a courtesy flush
Yeah,
over
it
here,
took-
buddy?
it took me
I
a
got
minute. It
ya,
took me a
it's
minute.
all
Like,
right.
okay.
Show that turn who's boss.
That's a way better story than mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like the worst. I don't have many bad stories, no, for playing shows.
Well, that's disappointing.
I'll work on it for next time.
Okay. Well, now what we want to know, Drew. What's in your pocket? In your pocket. What's in your pocket? What's in your pockets? What's in your pocket? In your pocket. What's in your pocket? Oh, he's
Were
gonna
you
empty him. That means he's got stuff in his pockets.
Were you expecting this? Have you heard
Is
the
this
previous
seriously a
shows?
question you asked?
Every
Okay.
single
I
show.
thought you knew.
Oh shit! I've changed. There's that change I was looking for. I got $3 in change. I got a toonie, a loony,
Actually, you know
3
what?
beer caps,
You know what?
and a bag of weed.
Can I stop you here?
Yeah.
Because you're our guest tonight,
Okay.
we've been using all this electricity, so it's going to actually cost you. It's about $3, so that's perfect. So just leave that with me. So that's no longer part of your pockets.
There's a lot of Christmas,
actually-
there's a lot of Christmas lights.
Yeah,
He
we're
br-
going
tell him
all.
why-
Usually we
put
don't
your-
have all these
You,
lights up. Okay, so this is all for you. So $3.
You put your beer in the fridge. That takes a lot.
Yeah, I use your fridge
We kept
too.
your beer
Actually,
cold.
it's gonna be like $5.50.
You used my toilet. That's water.
Oh, a couple times too.
You're looking at $13 now.
I know.
But
Oh
just
my God.
leave the $3 and we'll call it. All right. So sorry. So we got
Some beer caps.
some beer caps.
Yeah, get them beer caps, $3 in change, and a bag of weed.
Okay.
That's it.
What size of bag is that? Do you want to discuss that? You don't have
No,
to.
it's okay. It's probably like it's about a half bag now. It was a nickel before.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I would have to give him second place in the What's in Your Pockets
So far,
segment.
yeah. Usually it's I got nothing. I got
Only because Casey, she didn't have any pockets, so she like dug in her purse. So she's the all-time reigning champ of.
Yeah, she had like
Oh.
a half a table of things.
She dumped everything out. But you, my friend,
there you go. I gave it to you right there.
you are the silver medal.
Good job.
Yeah.
Well, you guys sound good to me,
Well, thank you.
and thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank you, Drew. Thank you, Andrew.
Yes.
Thank you, Andy.
You give me all the
Pick
names.
one. Marry, fuck, kill. Andrew, Drew, and Andy.
I'll marry Andy.
three,
I'll
okay.
fuck Drew, and I'll kill Andrew.
I feel like you answered that quickly. Like you had.
That was random. I was.
like you had that in your holster.
Like you've been living with us.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely marry him. Yeah. Will you be back?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, join us next week when our guest is all the way from Edmonton, Alberta, Justin Vienu. But for now, we're going to bring up our audience member now, Louisa.
Green room.
Our audience member that has been here enduring this, 3-hour conversation this entire time. We're going to
My
bring her
girlfriend.
up. We're going to Drew's girlfriend, Andy's girlfriend. Do you call him Andy?
No.
Okay. You should start.
That's why she's my girl.
That's a deal
I had to
breaker.
find a girl that didn't call me Andy.
That's a deal breaker, right? All right, so what were we talking about on the porch that I told you guys to shut up about until we got to this point?
Oh, because
Hold on. You gotta talk in the mic.
I brought up
Right in the side there. Just ride the mic.
oh, sorry. I brought up a writer
There we go.
because you guys have been talking about sports and music. So I thought you guys might be interested in a writer,
Shoot.
Chuck Klosterman.
Yes.
He's a known sports writer. He also writes about like pop culture and stuff. So he writes a lot about music. He loves music.
Yeah.
So that's why I was. That's it.
That's it? I thought we were going to...
The theory about rock and roll being dead.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
all right.
here we
I
we
think
go.
it's his most recent book. He's like, it's called "What If We're Wrong," and
Wrong about what?
well, goes on a bunch of different topics, and you kind of like how there's like theories that we thought were right, and then we proved them wrong. Things like, I don't know, the world's flat. He goes back.
Uh-oh.
But then there's
Have
one
you been listening to our show? The flat Earth has been brought up quite a few times in the last episode. But keep going.
So he was talking about rock and roll and saying that it's dying or it's dead because a lot of it is because our parents can relate to it.
Yeah.
So it's not fun for us to listen to anymore. It's kind of lost
because it's out of our realm.
Our parents like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
not rock and roll.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's lost some of the allure.
Well, and all those bands that our parents grew up with, like they kind of sold out to like car commercials and.
Right. Yeah.
And I think I can see that how rock and roll seems like it's dead right now because a lot of shit seems safe right now.
We're the parents now.
Yeah.
Right. People our age.
Yeah.
So we're cool with all rock music. You know what I mean? So it's not. It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk once I can. Yeah, absolutely, and I think fashion. Like with music and everything, it comes and shifts, it comes and goes. Right now, it's a very aesthetic-driven industry, like as far as what people are wearing. The '80s coming back, early '90s, you recognize more. It's very much so. Late 80s, early 90s kind of. Yeah. But I think eventually people get sick of whatever is popular. Once something gets popular, it just like grunge, everything. It's hot.
20 years.
Well, the same here. But like the mainstream popularity of the genre. It's a transition. Getting back to what we were talking about. It's a transition. Rock might. Absolutely, because
That's what we.
That's exactly what
Sir, under the genius, man.
What's what?
Remember after you're on that? Oh, no, you're sweetness. No, my home, no doubt. Just the peak of it. Maybe nothing. We all start out now. It's that night.
What came into like the hardcore scene?
Yeah.
Which you don't think.
Watch that documentary.
I will. I've always admired the punk spirit, but I've very little.
With me, man.
Ramones is probably my favorite.
I like 2 or 3. I'm heavily influenced by the Ramones and the Gallagher. Let's not go in there.
Yeah, you know that. You know that.
Yeah, I assume you have it.
What is it? Jack? That's the line.
I don't think it's a movie, a documentary.
No, it's a movie. Early 2000s.
No, I don't.
Come down in there. Oh, no. You know any?
It's got a good message.
Yeah. Very, very good. One of my favorites.
Well, Matthew Lillard and his friends are like Mohawks and everything. Like, yeah. Jackets, patches, you know.
Supposed to be
They're just punks. But he cut through the main message.
No, it's a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The main message is that I took from it is that like you talk about like in order to be a punk, you must have the mohawk, the cheese jacket patches. It's just like a true punk would like dress like a prep, you know, and have
that's kind of
yeah, really young.
Love him.
Really young.
But he just looks like a nerd. Like his
name's Mike, right?
The most or whatever. Like at the show.
Right? His name was Mike.
Yeah.
And in the end, Matthew Lillard just becomes like almost like a prep. He's all prepped out. It's just like, you know, what can I say?
His dad's shooter again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sure. Should we end with this? Do we sing like na 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 na? Hey goodbye.
You guys do happy birthday.
We did do happy birthday. Yeah. Do you want to do happy birthday? Everyone's birthday. Kumbaya. Ooh, let's do Kumbaya. Alright. Ready? No, do it. You gotta be the bass.
Yeah.
Just
do the bass.
Do the bass.
Middle?
Like, you're like
I'll do falsetto.
Okay. A female voice. Come on.
That's good. That's perfect.
Just, yeah, exactly. Just go with all the collective voices. Everyone has to sing right now. Alright. Yes. You're the deep voice guy in voice. Like, the guy who does all the, like, hey,
Baby, I know you've been looking at me.
Hey girl, I know.
Should you put the effects on that?
Hey girl. There you go. You're right. There you go. You're the only one of them.
You guys get the nice
No,
voice.
I'm off. Right. Oh, do you want to all go? Ooh, let's all go. Yes, you guys good? You guys good? Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. I am